You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time roll. Play ball!
Are you ready to let the good times roll? Are you ready for Kernels baseball? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, and the Class A affiliate of the Anaheim Angels welcome you to Cedar Rapids Kernels baseball. Now in his ninth season as the voice of the Kernels, here's John Rogers.
And we welcome you to Northeast Indiana, Fort Wayne's Memorial Stadium. Our only visit to this ballpark this season will be here through Thursday night, and we're taking on a very hungry Fort Wayne Wizard Ball Club. The Class A Midwest League affiliate of the San Diego Padres are in a dogfight in the Eastern Division to try to lock down a playoff berth. They're a game out right now, and with 8 to go, they're a very hungry ball club, just as the Clinton Lumber Kings were, who knocked us off the final 3 games of our 4 games in Clinton. It is a beautiful night here in Northeast Indiana. We're right off one of the most busy highways or thoroughfares in Fort Wayne, and one of the landmarks here at Memorial Stadium is their tater sack, a 35-foot-high net over the 16-foot-high wall and left that hopefully prevents cars from being struck by long home runs hit by the Kernels in this series. Our guest on the Dugout interview will talk about his new role with the Fort Wayne Wizards, Brian Shakow. Brian comes to the Wizards from a very good career with the Beloit Snappers. We'll talk baseball and some other fun things with Brian Shakow of the Wizards next on the Dugout interview. This is Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. There is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's.
Better call Papa.
Here's a fact about the new Veterans Memorial Stadium I bet you didn't know. All of the grounds surrounding our community's newest source of pride are maintained by Greg's Lawn Service. That's right, it's Greg's Lawn Service that provides you with that initial lift when you approach our magnificent new ballpark. Greg's Lawn Service can put their first-class signature in your yard, elevating it to the same immaculate condition you see around the stadium. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest since 1983.
Perfect Monday night for baseball as the Kernels now embark on the 3rd leg of their season-long 12-game road trip. We open up a 4-game series against the San Diego Padre minor leaguers, the Fort Wayne Wizards. And dugout interview guest here from Memorial Stadium is the Wizard Assistant General Manager, a longtime Midwest League veteran, Brian Shakow. And Brian, you guys are in the same situation that the Clinton Lumber Kings were in, and we played in Clinton this past weekend, and the Lumber Kings were a little bit hungrier. They took 3 of 4 from us. Would you let our listeners know what your prognosis is for making the playoffs as a qualifier in the Eastern Division?
Well, we could certainly use a little bit of help. We're in a similar predicament. We were 5.5 games up on a playoff spot about 3 weeks ago, lost 11 out of 12, and now we've rebounded. I think we've won maybe, I want to say 5 of our last 6. So we're a game behind the Battle Creek Yankees right now, so we can use a little help this week. 8 games left.
You play us 4, and then you stay in the Western Division. You finish the season in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Correct, which could make for some interesting playoff travel if we do make a spot. So we'll see how that works out.
Brian, what are your thoughts on the unbalanced setup of the Midwest League, where our division has 8 teams and your Eastern Division has 6 teams? I've always wondered, scratched my head for a couple of years ever since it's been formed that way, why we do it that way. How about you guys here in the East? Do you like it having just 6 teams?
Well, it certainly gives us a better chance of making the playoffs, but that being said, we've only made it 2 out of the last 5 years. So I guess from that standpoint, I certainly I understand why it's done, I guess, from a travel perspective and, cost and keeping bus costs down, things like that. But I guess from a competitive standpoint, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you have, 2 more teams in one division, that much less of a chance to make a playoff.
Brian Shakow is our dugout interview guest. And, Brian, you come to Fort Wayne having served in the Midwest League in one of the bellwether franchises, the Beloit Snappers. I wondered if you could compare and contrast being in one of the smaller markets of the Midwest League, now in one of the medium to bigger size markets here in Northeast Indiana. What are the pluses of being in a market like Beloit, and then what are the pluses of being in a larger market like Northeast Indiana?
Well, I guess the pluses on a Beloit side of things would be, you do certainly have more intimacy with the fans and a lot more attention to what you're doing when you have things on a smaller scale like that. You only have 3 concession stands in the whole park. It's pretty easy to keep a pulse on, what's going on around the park with that size setup. Of course, when you come to a place like Fort Wayne and your staff size is, triple what we had in Beloit, you have an ability to do a lot more things here that you couldn't do. We have one person who oversees the reading club program full time here. In Beloit, we had one person that would do that in addition to about 5 other jobs as well. So it's a lot of, there's pluses to both sides. Certainly missed Beloit, and I enjoyed my time there and the way we did things. But, it's a lot of fun here, too, and it certainly gives you a lot more advantages having the additional people and being able to draw from such a larger fan base.
You guys have done very well here, Brian, since you've had a new management team. And what are the keys, in your opinion, to, for instance, your attendance thermometer is way up there. What are you going to draw this year, and how do you draw so well here in Fort Wayne?
We're going to end up probably somewhere in the 280 to 290 range, 280,000, I would guess, with some good weather here in the last 4 home games. I don't think we do anything drastically different here than what you probably see around the Midwest League. I just like to think that we really put a lot of enthusiasm into what we're doing. Everything from the on-field promotions to the group sales to the corporate sales, I think we just really try and go all out and do it, to the best of our abilities. And I think, I've seen that reap some dividends here. People seem to have such a good time, and we promote that family atmosphere so well. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
In fact, your slogan this year has to do with a 3-letter word that says all in minor league baseball.
This is fun. That's correct. Yeah, that's something we came up with in the off season that kind of encapsulates everything that we do. So yeah.
And enthusiasm, Brian, we talk about it on the baseball field, and what a big difference it can make when you have a couple of guys just leading everybody else and saying, come on, let's go. And it does make a big difference in the front office because it tends to feed off, they say it's contagious.
Sure, absolutely. And I think one thing we have going real well here is we have a great group of guys that gets along real well. The 13 or 14 people we have on staff, everyone gets along well. We hang out a little bit, away from the park, which is sometimes difficult when you spend 16 hours with each other 8 days in a row. But we got a great group of people here, and I think kind of, feeds off itself. You're absolutely right. Our general manager, Mike Nutter, is great, and he does a great job of kind of rallying the troops when we're down. And the 7th day of an 8-game homestand, you pulled the tarp 15 times. Sometimes it's hard to bounce back, but that's one of the keys.
Brian Shacko is visiting with us from Memorial Stadium in Fort Wayne, where the Kernels start a 4-game set event against a very hungry club in need of wins to make it in the Eastern Division playoff scheme, the Fort Wayne Wizards. We'll wrap things up with the Wizard Assistant General Manager, formerly of the Blood Snappers, Brian Shacko, in a moment. This is Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Everyone knows the old saying, why buy new when used will do? Well, it certainly applies when buying a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Kiel Honda in Cedar Rapids. That's because a great selection of pre-owned Hondas from Randy Kiel Honda are certified and carry a 12-month bumper-to-bumper Honda warranty. Top that off with a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and you have a deal that's hard to beat. IntelliChoice ranks Honda's certification program #1 in the automobile industry for the last 5 years in a row. Randy Kiel has many vehicles priced under $5,000 and a large selection priced $5,000 to $10,000, plus a great selection of trucks and SUVs too. They invite you to come in and take a test drive. They're easy to find on Center Point Road Northeast, or take a visit to their website anytime, day or night, at randykiel.com. When used will do, make it a certified pre-owned Honda from Randy Kiel Honda in Cedar Rapids.
On a sparkling Monday evening for baseball, the Kernels and Fort Wayne Wizards, Game 1 of a 4-game series. Brian Shacko is our dugout interview guest, Assistant General Manager for the Wizards. And Brian, I wanted to go back to something you said in describing the difference between a small market team like Beloit and a mid to big size market like Fort Wayne. You have one person whose sole job it is to oversee your reading program. And I know we have our big Reader Recognition Day coming up with Toyota Financial Services this Sunday, September 5th at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. And I know our listeners would love to hear how you run your reading program. Let me tell you that we do ours in the spring. We get our players up early in the morning. They accompany myself or a couple of staff members, in some cases, to a school, K through 5. the entire school comes in for a half-hour assembly where the players, thanks to Toyota Financial Services, read a short story, then explain to the children how they can earn rewards throughout the summer by reading. And we visited this past spring, Brian, 32 elementary schools in the Cedar Rapids area. How does your program similar or different from that?
Sounds very similar, as a matter of fact. We open ours up just a little bit larger of a school base. We go all the way up to 8th grade, and in some cases we have a few high schools that participate as well. They set the goals up themselves individually in a classroom. They have to read their way around the bases. At each base they get another prize. And we let the teachers determine that as far as how they want to set, whether it's pages, books, etc. So each club or each, class gets to vary that as they want to. Last year we had, or I should say this season, we had just short of 200 schools participate.
Now, are you sending your mascot or a player to every one of those 200 schools?
We usually try to. It's not quite feasible with that many, but we usually at least try and send the mascot and our reading program director to participate in something there. We try and send as many of the players as we can, too, once we get them, based on their availability when they're not on the road and such. We do that, our big one in the spring, which is involved with all the schools, and then we have a summer reading program as well that we do with all our libraries in a very similar fashion. So.
And, Brian, you do have a local sponsor, and can you think of some of the prizes kids earned this spring and summer by reading in Fort Wayne?
Sure, it's Verizon Superpages is the sponsor of it. And the way it works is I think at first base they get a hot dog and a soft drink. Second base is a game ticket. They get a folder at third base, and I want to say maybe a bookmark at home, or I may have those out of line, but I think those are the 4 prizes. So, yeah.
And it's been a success here.
It's been a great success. I think we've had somewhere in the neighborhood of 80,000 kids participate. So, that's great for us, and they get a fun couple days when they come out to the ballpark. So it works well for everybody, I think.
Well, Brian Shackall, thanks so much for visiting with us about your first-class operation here in Fort Wayne. We wish you the best of luck down the stretch against our ball club and the up in Appleton to finish the season. And hopefully we'll make another trip here in about a week and a half to play, or 2 weeks to play in the league championship.
That would be a lot of fun. Let's hope that's the case. Thanks for having me.
Brian Shackall, our dugout interview guest, Assistant General Manager, Fort Wayne Wizards. Up next, starting lineup, Kernels in Fort Wayne, Game 1 of a 4-game series. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
None of us can do anything about a bad day, but we can make certain nothing happens to all of our tomorrows. Take everything out of the hands of chance with a well-planned insurance program tailored specifically to your needs. Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, is an expert in insurance matters. Phil Andrews will develop the right insurance plan for your home, car, business, and life. Depend on Phil Andrews, your hometown professional with Pekin Insurance.
Who cares what's in a hot dog? This country was built on the principle that wretched refuse could be made great. So when the tofu-obsessed among us ask what the hot dog is made of, well, the High Life man turns the question back on the questioner. You, sir, what are you made of? What spice do you add to the national knockwurst? No, you do not ask of the hot dog. The hot dog asks of you. Are you man enough to live the High Life? Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA.
The final leg of the Kernel longest road trip of the season, a 12-game trip. The final leg begins in Fort Wayne this evening with the first of 4 against the San Diego Padre minor leaguers, the Fort Wayne Wizards. Welcome to Kernel Baseball, Eastern Iowa. I'm John Rogers. We'll be introducing you as we go along tonight and in this series to a good colleague of ours, Mike Macias. In fact, Mike will set the starting lineup for the Fort Wayne Wizards in just a moment. Let me set the scene here. It's a beautiful, beautiful Monday night. The umpires have just come out of the tunnel behind home plate. We'll be giving you the Anderson and Brown umpiring crew here in a moment. First of all, let's tell you that this is the 9th game of our 12-game road trip. The Kernels had a rough go of it yesterday, losing a pair in Clinton 6-0 and 3-2, and are taking on a very, very hungry Fort Wayne team. The Wizards just a game back of Battle Creek for the final playoff berth in the Eastern Division second half race. Our record is sunk to 29 and 33 in the second half. Still very good on the road, 39 and 27 overall, 18 and 13 in the season's second half. The Wizards overall are 65 and 67, 32 and 30 in the second half, and they've been a tough club to whip here at their home Diamond Memorial Stadium. They're 19 and 11 in the second half. Let's introduce our guest, Mike Macias. Mike will be with us throughout this series. And Mike, how about setting the starting lineups for the Fort Wayne Wizards tonight?
Thank you, John, and I'm really pleased to be working with you again. I know I enjoyed it last year, and looking forward to a nice 4 days with you. The batting order for Fort Wayne Wizards tonight. Leading off and playing in left field will be Chris Kohlhorst. Batting second in right field is Brian Walbrink. Batting third, the designated hitter just back from the Olympic Games in Athens, Greece, George Kottaras. Batting in the cleanup position will be the first baseman, Fernando Valenzuela Jr. Batting fifth and at third base is Brett Bonvecchio. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Drew Macias. Batting seventh and at second base, Justin Smyers. Hitting eighth and behind the plate is Luke Carlin. Batting ninth and at shortstop, Juan Siriaco. Again, it's Kohlhorst in left, Walbrink in right, Kottaras to DH, Valenzuela at first, Bonvecchio at third, Macias the center fielder, Smyers at second, Carlin at catcher, Siriaco at shortstop.
And on the hill for the Wizards is a lefty, Mike Maz, and Sean Thompson has a very impressive season line.
He is 7-6 on the year, Don. He has an earned run average of 3.27. This will be his 26th appearance, all starts. He has pitched 135 innings. He has given up 57 runs, 49 of those earned. He's given up 116 hits. He's walked 56, struck out 142, thrown 3 wild pitches, committed 1 balk, and the opposition is batting .236 off of him. And as I mentioned off the air, he has what I feel is the best pickoff move in the Midwest League.
And I'm glad you tipped us off about that. I'm sure our Colonel base runners will find out the hard way, or hopefully they won't. But Sean Thompson, not a big guy, 5'11", 160. He's 20 years old, and he was a high draft pick by the Padres. He was taken in the 5th round in 2002. He's from Colorado. Sean Thompson on the hill, as Mike said, with a 7-6 record. Allen Motor Company is now proud to set the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup for this series opener. Time is dwindling, Kernel fans, to cash in on the lowest prices of the year. Allen's I-380 clearance sale. It ends this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Allen's is open late till 9 tonight. General Motors has increased incentives to buy 0% APR for 5 years on most models. In fact, you can save $10,500 right now at Allen's on 2004 GMC Yukon XLs and Denali's. Save $9,000 now at Allen's on 2004 GMC Envoys, XLs, and XUVs. Save $8,500 on 2004 GMC Sierra Extended Cab pickups. Those are just some of the values now at Allen Motor Company. The I-380 clearance sale features the lowest prices of the year, and hurry, it lasts until Wednesday, this Wednesday, September 1st at 6 o'clock. And remember, Allen's is open late tonight. They're open until 9 o'clock tonight. Allen Motor Company, proud to bring you the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Leading it off at second base tonight, Ryan Leahy. Batting second in the Allen Motor Company starting lineup is Howie Kendrick, his .362 average. Howie will bat second and serve as the DH. 327 hitting Baltazar Lopez will be at first base, and Lopez bats third in the Allen Motor Company order. The Kernel cleanup batter is Matt Brown. He leads the team with 29 RBIs. He's batting cleanup for the first time in a long while and playing the hot corner. Hitting fifth and left field for the Kernels is Blake Balcom. Michael Collins gets the call behind the plate in the series opener here in Fort Wayne. Collins batting sixth and catching. Kernel All-Star shortstop Brandon Wood continues to struggle a bit with the bat. That's why he's hitting seventh in the Allen Motor Company order and playing shortstop. Warner Madrigal was 0 for 9 in his 3 starts against Clinton. He's in right field. He'll bat 8th. And batting ninth, he slugged 2 home runs in the series at Alliant Energy Field in Clinton. Batting ninth in center field, Quan Cosby. On the hill for the Kernels, a 5-0 winner. His last start a week ago Sunday in Lansing, 23-year-old right-hander Chris Hunter. Chris is 9-6, and he's been pitching dynamite baseball recently, a 3.80 ERA. Chris Hunter, a 5-0 winner last Sunday in Lansing on the hill, 9-6 with a 3.80 ERA. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, proud to present our Anderson and Brown umpiring crew. Anderson and Brown Eye Care realizes that our umpires this evening, Timothy Dobb behind the plate and Darren Badon on the diamond, have to get the calls right to make it a fair game for both teams. That ability to focus on getting the calls right is a necessity. Anderson and Brown Eye Care can help make sure your eyes focus properly on the everyday calls that you encounter in your life. Timothy Dobb is calling the balls and strikes. His partner on the diamond, Darren Badon. The Fort Wayne Wizards take the diamond in their white home uniforms with cutout sleeves, blue sleeves in the underneath the white vest. Let's pause from Memorial Stadium to honor America with the singing and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
show on 97.3 WWE, Erica Taylor.
Good crowd on hand for a Monday night on a delightfully cool evening. It's in the low 70s in Northeast Indiana. I'm your play-by-play host, John Rogers. Our guest during this series is one of the Wizards stalwarts in their front office, Mike Macias, and we'll enjoy baseball together from Fort Wayne in just a minute. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, man, what's up? Just getting ready to kick your butt. Right. And mess up your hair? You just wish you could look this good. No, nothing but that. Hey, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to make my hair look as good as yours. I mean, who has time to schedule an appointment, let alone show up for it? Not me. I just go to Cost Cutters. I get in whenever it's convenient for me. Nice shot. Yeah. So you're telling me you just walk into Cost Cutters and come out looking good? Well, for some of us that comes naturally. But Cost Cutters makes it easier. They can do anything you want. A cool cut, even some color, and get some of that styling gel stuff to keep you looking good. Like me. Oh, so that's why your hair never moves. Oh, you're funny. Cost Cutters. Thanks, man. This will save me some time. Great. Then you'll have time to work on your game. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Are you a busy guy? Save yourself time. Walk into one of our area's 12 Cost Cutters whenever it's convenient for you. Then relax, because Cost Cutters will make things easy and affordable for you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for hair.
5'11" southpaw Sean Thompson completing his warm-up tosses, and he'll face Ryan Leahy, Howie Kendrick, and Baltazar Lopez to open up the Kernel first. Mike Macias, the skipper of this Fort Wayne Ball Club, is a very recognizable name. He played 13 seasons in the big leagues. Randy Reddy.
And he's been very enjoyable to work with this year, John. He knows what it's like to go through the rigors of a long season, and as you say, 13 years in the bigs, and he's worked very hard on keeping his Fort Wayne team motivated throughout 132 games so far.
Well, here we go with tonight's series opener with Ryan Leahy serving as leadoff batter, and Sean Thompson, the lefty, fires way high, ball one. Leahy had a 7-game hitting streak snapped in yesterday's Kernel extra inning loss in the Twin Bill nightcap in Clinton. He was 0 for 4. Ryan pops one in the air to second base. This will be easy for Justin Smyers. Smyers, about 5 steps back on the grass and right, has Ryan Leahy's pop-up. A 1-0 pitch to the Kernel leadoff batter, and he pops to second. Leahy is gone on 2 pitches, and that's something the Kernels have really fallen into a trap of doing on this road trip, in which we've won 3 and lost 5, and that is swinging very, very early in counts. Howie Kendrick is at the plate. The outfield plays Howie a bit the other way. Right-handed batter, left-handed hurler, and Thompson delivers upstairs for a ball. Brett Bonvecchio is playing even with the bag at third, about 8 feet off the line. Now he takes a couple of steps back. Sun shining brightly here in Fort Wayne. Strike one called, according to Timothy Dobb. A fastball, letter high to Howie. Howie Kendrick with a .362 average, 9 homers, 41 RBIs. The 1-1 to Howie. Outside and high, ball 2. It's on Vecchio at third, Juan Siriaco at short. Now, Mike, he has an alarmingly high number of errors, and I want you to comment on that in just a moment because I have a theory about that. The 2-1 to the Kernel .362 hitter is skied in the air to right. Tough play because of the sun, but Brian Walbrink drifts towards the line and battles that sun and makes the catch. Howie Kendrick is flown out to right, 2 away in the Kernel first inning. Siriaco, Mike, has 44 errors, but sometimes that means he's a good shortstop. You know what I'm talking about?
He has a very fine arm. He has some good range. The problem with Juan, especially in the second half, has been a lack of focus. He just seems to mentally fall asleep at critical times.
Well, that happens to young players. 2 gone in the Kernels first. The batter, Baltazar Lopez. What a day he had in Game 2 yesterday in Clinton. A change-up is in the dirt to Lopez. Baltazar was 3 for 4. An RBI double in the third. Scored Howie Kendrick, who had tripled and put the Kernels ahead 2-0, but we lost in 8 innings, 3-2. Lopez hitting .327. Hits a strike on the outside edge to even the count 1-1. Many unique aspects or characteristics of this ballpark, Memorial Stadium, and we'll talk about them as we go along here. The first thing you notice is how tall the outfield wall is. It's 16 feet high all the way around until you get near the right field foul line. And then an unusual feature of this ballpark, it's only 4 feet high. Mike Macias, as Lopez takes strike 2, have you given that short porch and right a name?
I wish maybe a name should be given to it, but it is an interesting feature, no doubt about that.
Looks like you could hurdle over it. The 1-2 to Baltazar, a change-up. Looked like he went around, and he did not, according to the base umpire, Darren Badon, as Lopez held up on a pitch in the dirt. The Kernels are in their red knit batting practice tops again with gray trousers, and the Wizards in white home uniforms with a vest-like top, meaning the strongman shirt look, and then blue sleeves from underneath the white top, and they wear blue hats. They're the Padre affiliate here in the Midwest League, and they're battling for Eastern Division playoff berth. Swing and a miss by Lopez, and Baltazar is down on strike. Down order go the Kernels in the top of the first inning in Fort Wayne as our road trip continues with the final leg, the first of 4 at Memorial Stadium. After 1/2 inning, Kernels nothing, Wizards coming up. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services 1,000-minute reader recognition day is Sunday, September 5th at 1 o'clock at Veterans Memorial Stadium. All you girls and boys who had 1,000 minutes this summer will be greeted on the field by the Kernels at 1 o'clock on September 5th to get autographs. You'll then be honored with a parade around the diamond. Order your tickets for Toyota Financial Services Reader Recognition Day by calling the Kernels at 896-7560. That's 896-7560.
Mike and Mike.
Jonathan McNabb for 2 days doing the Philadelphia Eagles. First, let's talk about T.O. and yours relationship on the field, getting that quarterback-receiver relationship down. How's that been going?
We've really made some strides as far as getting our progression, our timing, our chemistry down. Right now, we're still working, so it's not where we want it to be right now, but it's definitely moving in the right direction.
You feel more pressure that says, okay, there are really all the pieces are in place, and now there can't be any excuses?
I don't feel that there's any added pressure or any pressure on my shoulders, no more than usual, I should say. And with T.O. being over here, it definitely helps us out in some ways on the offensive side.
When we do these 2 days, we also talk about the greatest player in the history of that franchise, and we're going to do a little twist for you, the greatest number 90 of all time. Is it going to be me, Mike Golick, or Corey Simon, the current number 90?
That was a good one. Well, you know, Mike, you talk about 2 big guys and then a little guy. I'm in the middle. I think I'm just in between.
Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
Kernels retired 1-2-3, nothing across in the top of the first. Great to have you with us for this 6 o'clock start this evening in Northeast Indiana. We're in the same time zone, and it's very tricky when you come to Indiana, Mike Macias, because you never know whether you're in South Bend or Bloomington or Indianapolis or here in Fort Wayne, how you figure out if you're in the Eastern time zone or still in the Central time zone.
Well, just for record purposes, we are in the Eastern time zone, except we are in the part of the state of Indiana that never changes their clock.
Oh, I see.
So 6 months a year we're on Chicago time, 6 months a year we're on New York time. Crazy.
That clarifies it, Mike. Thank you. Chris Kottaras, a left-hand batter against Chris Hunter, and Hunter's first pitch is strike 1 called. Well, Mike, is Kottaras a left-handed batter or a switch hitter?
No, he's batted left-handed in the games that I've seen him. He's only played in 4 games for the Wizards.
And he comes to the Padres from one of the best collegiate programs in the country, Rice University. Hunter's next delivery is outside. Chris Kottaras, as Mike Macias said, has played in only 4 games, no homers, 1 RBI, a left-handed batter. And he bounces one, a leaping stop at first by Lopez. Baltazar had to get on his pogo stick and hop high to prevent that one from catapulting over his head. Lopez did exactly that, made a good play to prevent a Baltimore chop single over his head, and unassisted put-out for Baltazar Lopez on Chris Colcourt. Here's Brian Walbrink, the right fielder, batting .253. Walbrink has 7 homers, 39 RBIs. Brian's from UC Riverside, and he was a Padre 42nd round pick in 2002. He's 24 years old, and he bats from a deep crouch, and Hunter does what he does best. Chris gets ahead with the strike called. We're just underway at Memorial Stadium. The lights are on, and the sun is shining brightly in the outfield, where Walbrink strokes one in the air to right, and over to get to his right is Warner Madrigal. 2 away quickly in the Fort Wayne first inning as Brian Walbrink flies to right. Mike Macias, this ballpark was built in the early 90s, and you guys have had the Twins, and I remember you had such guys as LaTroy Hawkins and A.J. Drzinski, and how's the relationship been with the Padres?
It's been getting better and better as time has gone on, and last week the Wizards and the Padres renewed their working agreement for another 2 years.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah, and it's been getting, as I say, better and better. I think the problem that all minor league teams have, I'll go over it after this pitch.
Well, thank you. The 1-0 to Kottaras, the left-handed batter, and we'll pick up on that topic in a moment, but first to George Kottaras, born in Canada, went to junior college in Oklahoma, and played in the Olympics the last 2 weeks for Greece. Ball 2 low and away. Have you had a chance to talk to George yet?
No, he just got back in town today, and in case your listeners are wondering, the reason how he played for Greece, both of his parents direct ancestry from Greece.
Well, it is a Greek name, Kottaras, and he's ahead 3-1 as Chris Hunter misses low. Nobody on, 2 out. Fort Wayne with a .244 team batting average, 11th in the 14-team Midwest League. A two-out walk issued by right-hander Chris Hunter as he fired low and away to left-handed batter George Kottaras. And, Mike, you just told us about the Fort Wayne Wizards re-upping for another 2 years with San Diego, and you were about to cite one of the challenges.
The challenge, I think most of the minor league teams, I think in the Midwest League, with maybe a couple exceptions, getting the higher draft choices to come in and play low A, Class A baseball. Sometimes the parent clubs want to move them up and start them off at high A.
Mike, you sure have pinpointed one of the challenges or frustrations at times. We've been lucky as ball 1 is outside to Fernando Valenzuela Jr., a Midwest League All-Star. He leads this Fort Wayne outfit with 72 RBIs. He's also belted 11 homers, and he's hitting a robust .289. He looks like his papa. He is a husky, round first baseman, and ball 2 is low. Chris Hunter's had his controls as him here with 2 out in the bottom of the first. He missed with a changeup in the dirt to the left-handed batter, Fernando Valenzuela Jr. The Kernel outfield plays him to pull. Balcom in left, Cosby in center, Madrigal in right. They all three have very tough sun fields right now. Ooh, a fastball looked pretty good from here, but it's ball 3 upstairs, and Chris Hunter in danger of issuing back-to-back walks with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Hunter's ERA is 3.80. The Kernel team ERA 3.95. Oh, my gosh, a 4-pitch walk. They ruled it outside, did Timothy Dobb. And inexplicably, Chris Hunter is in a pair of walks with 2 away to give the Wizards a chance to jump out on top here tonight. Their next hitter is Brett Bonvecchio. Bonvecchio came to the Padre organization as Kernel pitching coach Eric Bennett trucks out to the hill. Mike Macias, Bonvecchio came to the Padre organization in a major league deal with the Red Sox, and Boston gave up Bonvecchio in the deal.
That's true, and Brett Bonvecchio has really filled a hole at third base. As you get to watch the series, John, you will see how smoothly he plays the position defensively. He's mentioned to me that the person he's tried to model himself after is Cal Ripken.
I was going to guess Wade Boggs, but Cal Ripken makes sense. Ball 1 outside to the left-handed hitter Brett Bonvecchio, Bonevechio. 2-inning trouble for Chris Hunter. He's walked a pair, and he's behind 1-0 to the left-handed batter Bonvecchio. The 1-0 delivery. Swing and a tip foul into the glove of catcher Michael Collins. Kernel infield finds Matt Brown at third, Brandon Wood at short, at second. In bright sunshine, Howie Kendrick, and in shadows at first, playing way behind the base and the runner, is Baltazar Lopez. It's 400 feet to dead center here at Memorial Stadium, a 16-foot high Army green wall. Above it, the American flag. A slider down and in, and Chris Hunter has run into two-out difficulty with his control, and that's unusual. Chris has walked just 42 batters in 130 in the third inning. Struck out 78 in 130 in the third. The field here is in great playing shape, and we're going to have a very fine Monday night crowd. A shot into deep left. Ball come back in front of the warning track. Blake has it. Oh, Brett Bonvecchio hit it hard the other way, drilling it to deep left. Blake Balcom calmly drifted back and made the play to end the inning. Chris Hunter gets out of a two-out jam of his own making, issuing a pair of two-out walks. But he gets Bonvecchio to line to left. No runs for Fort Wayne in the first, no hits, two walks. No Colonel errors. The Wizards leave a pair. And after one at Memorial Stadium on a lovely Monday, Kernels and Wizards no score. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Been looking to buy a used car, truck, or van? If so, head to Select Auto now. All vehicles are priced to sell with bottom line pricing. Monthly bills getting you down? Can't afford the car of your dreams? No problem. Select Auto offers payment plans to fit around your budget. Select Auto also offers great warranties on all cars, not to mention their experienced and friendly staff in their full-service service department. Hate being chased around the lot by those annoying salespeople? At Select Auto, you won't be bothered by any salespeople. You deal directly with the owners. Got bad credit? Not a problem. They offer financing for any credit, good or bad. Still not sold? Purchase any used car over $5,000 and get $200 in free gas at any Handy Mart. Hurry in, this deal only lasts through the month of July. What are you waiting for? Visit either of Select Auto's two convenient locations, on 1st Avenue downtown Cedar Rapids or on 7th Avenue in Marion. Select Auto, a great way to buy a pre-owned car.
The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons is Cedar Rapids' exclusive downtown hotel. Make plans to experience a spectacular view from the top of the 5 restaurant. Start your day off with us for breakfast, or make a lasting impression on your business associates by treating them to our signature lunch buffet that changes daily. For any occasion, enjoy an elegant dinner or the Eddie Park Jazz Trio in the city's only rooftop restaurant. The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons, top of the 5.
Matt Brown will be first up from the cleanup spot in the Allen Motor Company order. It's been a while since Brownie has been given that mantle of cleanup hitter. He's earned it. He went 2 for 6 in the doubleheader loss in Clinton yesterday. Right-handed hitter to face the lefty, who delivers a changeup on the outside corner, Sean Thompson. His last start was Tuesday here at Memorial Stadium against Clinton. No decision in a Fort Wayne 3-2 loss. Sean is a 5'11" southpaw who comes straight over the top and lifting one towards the first base Wizard dugout and out of play onto a picnic area is Matt Brown. He's in the hole 0-2. Brownie hitting .238, 22 homers, 79 RBIs. Mike Macias, I'm very impressed with this crowd at Memorial Stadium. School's back in session now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So how do you get all these families and kids out here on a Monday night?
Well, a promotion that the Wizards have on Mondays is called Dollar Night. $1 hot dogs, $1 pop, $1 beer. And that has brought in some nice crowds this year on Mondays.
It sure has, including tonight. The 0-2 to the Colonel cleanup batter is just, strike 3 called. It looked low, but strike 3 called. Matt Brown on 3 pitches. A terrific 0-2 pitch at the outside corner as Matt Brown heading back to the Colonel dugout, gone on 3 pitches. We're back home Friday. Speaking of big crowds, we should have great crowds this last 4 home games of the regular season, beginning Friday, September 3rd. Kick off your Labor Day weekend with fun and family and friends at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's Copyworks Team Photo Night. I'll explain the details as Blake Balcom looks at the strike at the knee. Blake batting with nobody on, 1 out, top of the second. .261 hitter, 4 homers, 47 RBIs. Blake wears his gray trousers just below his knees, exposing all of his red socks. He was 1 for 7 yesterday, playing both ends of the doubleheader, and Sean Thompson continues to show pinpoint control as he gets ahead of Balcom 0-2 with a fastball on the outside corner at the knees. Outfield plays Balcom to hit slightly the other way with Drew Macias in center, shifted into right center. Copyworks Team Photo Night means the first 1,000 of you Colonel fans to come to the game this Friday, September 3rd, get a free color photo of our 2004 Colonel Ball Club. playoff bound. Muscling one foul away to the right into the seats to stay in the hole 0-2, Blake Balcom. The gates open at 5:30, a 6:30 start. All of our games in September will begin at 6:30 if they're night games, so you can get the kids in bed before 10 o'clock on a school night. But this weekend's not a school night. It's Labor Day weekend, so come on out. The lefties 0-2 delivery. Punched foul off the fist. Boy, did Balcom fight off a good pitch right in on his hand. And he's still fighting at 0-2. Those copywork team photos to be given away to the first 1,000 of you Kernel fans this Friday night are suitable for frame, and they're a wonderful keepsake. They're a great item also to collect autographs on. Blake Balcom has fouled off 2 0-2 pitches from the Fort Wayne southpaw. Now he swings at a pitch in the dirt and misses. Strike 3. The catcher has to throw down to first baseman Valenzuela. That's what Luke Carlin does. And the last 3 Kernels have fanned against lefty Sean Thompson. The Kernels have had very, very difficult time scoring runs on this road trip. In our games in Clinton, we won 3-1, lost 2-1, lost 6-0, and lost 3-2. So add up the numbers: 3 runs, plus 1 run, plus no runs, plus 2 runs. That's only 6 runs in 4 games. It's a wonder we did win 1 of 4. Here's Michael Collins, the Australian catcher, batting right-handed. He'll be welcoming back his buddy, Nick Kimpton. Nick has returned to the Kernel Ball Club, or will sometime, here in Fort Wayne from the Greece Olympics, just as the designated hitter for the Wizards, George Kottaras, represented Greece. Nick Kimpton played for the silver medal Australian team. Fouling one off to the right. Strike 1 is Michael Collins. Strike 2 called. Well, Sean Thompson, Mike, is throwing nothing but aspirin tablets.
Well, that's the key for any success for a pitcher, John, is to get ahead in the count. And so far, Sean has been ahead of every hitter except leadoff batter Ryan Leahy.
You're exactly right. Went 1-0 on Leahy, but he's been ahead of every succeeding Kernel batter. 0-2 to Michael Collins, right-handed batter. Ball 1 is outside. It looked like Sean turned that over a little bit. As well as Sean Thompson has pitched, he's been a tough luck hurler. He has not won since July 19th, so he's gone a month and a half without a victory, but he's had a ton of no decisions. Curveball, strike 3 called. How about that? Sean Thompson strikes the side out. All 3 Kernels gone on strikes in the second inning as our offensive doldrums continue. We just look very, very, very poor on offense. But we'll come out of it. It's just when you go into a team slump, everybody tries to do it themselves, and that's the corner the Kernels have painted themselves into in the last week or so. Down in order go the Kernels in the second, each batter striking out. And after an inning and a half with 9-game winner Chris Hunter returning to the hill for the Kernels, no score from Fort Wayne. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
High school coaches, ADs, and team managers, please pay close attention to the following special announcement. Give us your statistics. Your players work hard, and IowaPrepStats.com is the place to showcase their achievements. IowaPrepStats.com is an internet service of Gazette Communications and is completely free. All you need to do is send us your stats. Email them to prepstats@gazettecommunications.com or fax them toll-free to 1-888-577-8281. That's prepstats@gazettecommunications.com or fax to 1-888-577-8281. It's that simple. Act now and help give your players the credit they deserve. The site is updated weekly, so please send your information in by Wednesday at noon. All high school sports, all stats, all the time. Get your link to IowaPrepStats.com from The Zone at www.thezone1600.com. At IowaPrepStats.com, we've got your numbers. Thank you. That is all.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Our poll question is, you could win 1 gold medal or 6 bronze medals. Let's say you could go to the Super Bowl 6 times and you don't win 6 times. Or you could win 1 Super Bowl and not go to the Super Bowl in the other years.
I'd rather win 1 Super Bowl.
Okay. So then why not win 1 gold instead of 6 bronze?
Because you're competing in 6 different events. I just think that's spectacular that at the Olympic level, you qualify for 6 events.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
The Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays on ESPN Radio.
Most of the games on the season-long road trip have gone very fast. This evening is no exception. We're already into the bottom of the second inning. Chris Hunter, a 9-game winner, coming off a 5-0 win a week ago Sunday on this road trip in Lansing, deals to Drew Macias, who loops one to shortstop. Brandon Wood broke back, now takes a few steps in on the dirt, and one-hands it. Left-handed hitting Drew Macias, swinging at the first pitch. He's a Californian, and he pops weakly to short. Mike, one thing I've noticed about this Fort Wayne roster, the Padres love to draft from their hotbed of talent, Southern California.
They sure do, and you can't blame them. You know, you got great weather, and their high A affiliate is half hour from Petco Park.
Oh, that's for sure. It's like our Rancho Cucamonga Quits play just 45 minutes from Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Your Lake Elsinore Ball Club plays just a half hour. Is that right, from San Diego?
Yes.
Strike one is in to Justin Smears, and Smyers, he golfs one to deep left center. On the run, Blake Balcom drops it. Smears will end up at second. I thought he should have been at third, Mike. I'm not sure why he's at second. I think he stopped to watch. Justin Smyers has a fly ball into left center, dropped by Blake Balcom. Balcom, usually very sure-handed, is committed a two-base error. I think Blake must have lost it in the sun. I think he must have lost it, Mike Oz, in the sun, because Blake Balcom ordinarily doesn't drop a ball like that.
And I also think, John, that Justin Smyers may have thought that the ball was going to be caught, and it's a bad habit a lot of players get into, not running out a ball that's it.
He's at second, but in my opinion, he should be at third base. The batter is Luke Carlin, the left-handed hitter, and he pops one foul behind the plate, strike one. No score, and an error committed in left center by Blake Balcom is giving the Wizards a one-out scoring chance here in this bottom of the second inning. Justin Smyers is at second on the error committed in left by Blake Balcom. Luke Carlin, a 178 hitter in just 20 games, a left-handed batter, no homers, 7 RBIs. Luke is batting eighth in this Fort Wayne order. Steve, right two called on the inside corner from Chris Hunter. He could sure use a strikeout. Carlin is from Quebec, a Canadian, and he went to school at Northeastern, so he probably knows our Ryan Leahy, the Colonel designated hitter. Ball one is low. I have a lineup change to report. Kendrick is at second base. I had him penciled in as DH. Kendrick is at second, and Ryan Leahy is the Colonel designated hitter tonight. We'll make that change along with us in your scorebook. Leahy the DH, Kendrick at second. We had them flip-flop. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Chris Hunter is 1 out away from pitching around a one-out error that has given the Wizards their second great scoring chance in this game. Luke Carlin is the first strikeout victim of Chris Hunter. Hunter got Carlin on a changeup. Now the batter is Juan Ciriaco. C-I-R-I-A-C-O. Juan Ciriaco is 6 feet tall. He's a right-handed batter. He's from the Dominican Republic, and he's only 21 years old. Juan hitting .238, 2 homers, 35 RBIs. Runner at second with a big lead, and Chris Hunter comes high and in with a fastball and a swing and a tip foul into the glove of the catcher, Michael Collins. Strike one on Ciriaco. Yeah, the more and more I think about it, Mike, I think Balcom lost that ball in the sun when he dropped it in left center. Strike two called on the outside corner. 0-2 to the shortstop who steps out. Randy Reddy, the 13-year big league veteran, coaching at third. The coaches' boxes here are defined by chalk lines. They don't have dirt etched out in the grass, but they have chalk lines. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and Michael Collins tags the batter to end the inning. Chris Hunter has done a very nice job of pitching around a 2-out jam in the first inning of his own making, a pair of shot walks, and in the second inning he keeps Fort Wayne from breaking on top by pitching around a 1-out error in left by Blake Balcom. No runs, no hits for the Wizards in the second. 1 Colonel error. Fort Wayne leaves a batter. Leaves a runner. They've left 3. We go to the top of the third inning. When we return, we'll be congratulating our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question winners from the doubleheader in Clinton yesterday. After 2 in Fort Wayne, no score. This is Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Solid Waste and Recycling Services reminds you how to prepare your garbage for curbside collection.
Oh, tell me more.
Make sure you use a 35-gallon garbage can or a large plastic bag. Weight limit is 40 pounds. If you have more garbage than fits in your can or bag, or weighs more than 40 pounds, buy a sticker.
How much are they?
A $1.25 sticker is required for each additional garbage can or bag you set out.
Where can I buy one?
You can buy garbage stickers at any grocery, convenience, or drugstore.
There's a dream that lies in your heart
hard to tell you. You're one of a kind. This is your time, just be you. Rise up, be strong. Originality lasts a whole lot long. Nothing better. Dr. Pepper. The taste of originality, Dr. Pepper. Salute individuality, Dr. Pepper. Do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone. Nothing better, Dr. Pepper. Do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone. Nothing better, Dr. Pepper.
No score in the top of the third. Brandon Wood is in the hole 0-2, as every Colonel batter has been tonight. A strike call, then Brandon rips one foul to the screen. 4 straight strikeouts, and 6 retired to start the game by stylish lefty, 5'11", 170-pounder Sean Thompson. He is just 20 years old, from Colorado. Ooh, a sinker just missed low for ball 1. Brandon Wood, hitting 7th in the Allen Motor Company order, stands in with a 258 average. 11 homers, 64 driven in for the Colonel All-Star shortstop. A bouncer past the first baseman into right. Brandon Wood has stroked the first Colonel hit of this night underneath the outstretched mitt to his right of Fernando Valenzuela Jr. And Fernando Valenzuela Jr. got kind of an awkward hop and did have to go had to lunge out to his right, and he just couldn't quite get that one.
That was one of those do-or-die plays, John, as you say, a funny little hop, and you either go for it and hope you snag it, or you have to play it back on the hop and hope you have enough time to get the run off the base.
Now let's see if Brandon Wood is picked off by Sean Thompson. You said Thompson, who delivers outside to Madrigal, has picked off about a dozen base runners, just a rough count.
Right. There was one game at West Michigan earlier this year where Sean allowed 3 hits in the first inning and picked up 3 runners.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That has to be some sort of baseball record. The Whitecaps didn't learn after their throw to first. That wasn't his A move, and Brandon is back standing up. Brandon Wood, who was 0 for 9 in Clinton, is 1 for 1 in Fort Wayne as he grounded a single on the ground. Or I said he grounded it. He grounded it to the right of Fernando Valenzuela Jr., who's now holding Brandon Wood. Brandon not going, and strike 1 to Warner Madrigal, 1-1. Warner's in a slump. He took an 0 for 10 in 4 games against the Clinton Lumber Kings. This Colonel Ball Club is really struggling offensively. Hopefully we can get things back in gear for too long, because the playoffs start Wednesday, September 8th. We'll be at home Thursday, September 9th, a 6:30 start. A pickoff play. Fernando Valenzuela to the shortstop. Out! Mike Maz, you called it, and that won't be the first tonight. You said that you thought that Sean Thompson would pick off. Well, you didn't say how many, but you said Johnny has the best pickoff move in the league, and lo and behold, he picks off Brandon Wood. You predicted it.
I just had the good fortune to have seen it happen a lot of times this year, Don. It's nothing fancy.
Oh, but he got Wood. It went 1-3-6. Madrigal takes strike 2. Boy, if this Colonel Ball Club doesn't wake up pretty soon, we're going to be in a heap of trouble. I really liked our playoff chances, and then the injury to Bobby Wilson, we haven't recovered from that yet, and we're playing very poorly right now. The 1-2 to Warner Madrigal. He went around on a slider in the dirt, strike 3. And that is the 5th strikeout in 2 2/3 innings for lefty Sean Thompson. Let's get to our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge questions from yesterday at Alliant Energy Field in Clinton. Our first winner was Samantha Avery of Iowa City. We said that Kevin Brown has racked up over 200 wins in his 18-year career. And we asked what team Kevin Brown posted his 120-win season with. Samantha Avery knew that it was the Texas Rangers. Yes, Samantha, you've earned yourself a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll, because the only 20-win season for Kevin Brown came in 1992 with Texas. He was 21-11. Fouling one straight back is Quan Cosby. He hit 2 home runs in Clinton. A drive to deep left, way back over the head of Colcourse at the wall, and he has it. It went over his head. He went back to the warning track and caught it. Chris Colcourse had one driven over his head on the warning track and left, and Chris Colcourse made a beautiful play as he turned his back to the infield, went back to the warning track, and made the catch. Quan Cosby, batting right-handed, sent one 370 feet away to the warning track in deep, deep left to end the Kernel third inning. In the Kernel third, no runs, one hit, a man picked off. There were no Fort Wayne errors. Kernels leave the bases empty. And after 2.5 at Memorial Stadium, it's a scoreless game between the Kernels and Fort Wayne. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Quiznos Kernels Kids Club members. Did you know that your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card is good for more than just great deals at the ballpark? That's right. By showing your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card at any of the Cedar Rapids Quiznos, you'll receive a free small drink when you buy a Quiznos sub. That's a free small drink with the purchase of a Quiznos sub when you show your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club card.
Quiznos. Toasty.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers do the talking through Yellow Book. Other book.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Let your fingers do walking through Yellow Book. The other book.
Chris Kottaras from Rice University made a catch on the warning track and left to catch a deep drive off the bat of Quan Cosby that ended the Kernel third. We're in the bottom of the third, no score, and way in on the grass at third for the Kernels is Matt Brown trying to guard against the Kottaras bunt. Chris swings late and misses strike one on a Chris Hunter fastball. Our second Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question from yesterday in Clinton, and the winner was Frank Garcia of Cedar Rapids. Punching one foul down the left field line to go 0-2 is Chris Kottaras, left-handed hitter. Our second Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question from Clinton yesterday, we told you that Adrian Beltre, leading the National League in home runs, is making a bid to become the first Dodger to win an NL home run crown since 1956. We asked you what Brooklyn Dodger slugger led the NL in round trippers that year. The last Dodger to do it was Duke Snider, and Frank Garcia knew that. Congratulations, Frank. You earned yourself a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll. 1-2 pitches, broke to short. Brandon Wood charges and throws the batter out. Brandon Wood had to charge that three-hopper. Grounded the other way by Kottaras and one away in the Fort Wayne third inning. No score with Brian Walbrink coming to the plate. We'll have another chance for you Kernel listeners to earn a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll. Our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question is coming up in the Kernel fifth inning, as always on the road. Boy, hard to believe a Dodger has not won the batting title since 1956. You think about it, Mike Macias, they've had Richie Allen, and they've had Kurt Gibson, and they've had Eric Karros, they've had Sean Green. They've had some pretty sluggers.
Chavez Ravine, not exactly a hitter's ballpark.
Especially in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You're exactly right, Mike. It's 2-0 to Brian Walbrink. Chris Hunter is mid inside twice. Walbrink, a right-handed batter, flew out to right in the first. Ball three, low and away from the Kernel 23-year-old right-hander from Utah, Chris Hunter. No score, bottom of the third inning. Hunter into his windup. The 3-0 delivery is a strike called on the inside corner. Walbrink has 7 homers, 39 RBIs. He's a right-handed hitter. Wears his blue socks up high. They're navy blue socks, very dark blue socks. A pitcher to third, and it's snagged by Matt Brown, who reached up like he was stopping traffic to make a terrific fielding play. 2 away, Matt Brown pegging on to first, hit Walbrink, and Mike Macias, Matt Brown had to reach up high, and that ball almost was behind him when he stabbed it.
That ball was hit very hard, and again, Brown made a nice play. Again, one of those do-or-die plays, and Brown was playing even with the bag, so either go get it or pray, and he got it and threw the runner out. So a nice defensive play.
Matt had to go quickly to his left. Ski right call to George Kottaras. Kottaras, Kottaras. He walked in the first inning. He's a left-handed batter. No score, 2 away, nobody on for the Wizards, and ball 1 low and away from Chris Hunter. Randy Reddy is about 15 feet in back of the third base coaching box for Fort Wayne. And Mike Macias, who's coaching at first for the Wizards?
I got to be honest.
That's Tom Tornisaka?
Tom Tornicasa is the hitting coach, and Randy Reddy has an approach where he does not want his hitting coach in the coaching box.
Oh, okay. So Tom's not coaching at first. A 2-1 pitch is swapped straight back into the screen. 2-2 now to the left-handed batter, Kottaras.
Usually tries to have one of the players.
A position player.
Correct.
Well, Bobby Macias has Justin Bachman coaching at third this evening, and Bobby Wilson, the Colonel catcher at first base, is coaching. Swing and a foul. Hunter challenged Kottaras with a high fastball, and George got good wood on it but ripped it straight back. I would say there's a pretty good amount of foul ball ground room here at Memorial Stadium. At least 45 feet between the dugout and the line. Ball 3 juts just downstairs, and George Kottaras steps out. He wears his home white trousers with blue pinstripes all the way down near the tops of his blue Nike shoes, and waits for the 3-2 from the Colonel hurler. A let-up, and it's grounded sharply foul into the Wizard right field bullpen.
John, you commented on how nice the field looks, and I mentioned off air, we received between 2 and 3 inches of rain Saturday night. It forced a suspension of our game with Lansing. And Chris Hunter found out a few moments ago how wet the field is.
A let-up is popped in the air to the right side of the infield. This will be the last out of the third inning. Howie Kendrick between first and second brings it down for the final out of the inning. Yes, did Chris Hunter take a spill? Mike, I didn't even see it.
He walked behind the mound and wanted to rub up the baseball, and all of a sudden his right foot behind the mound in the grass area came up spongy with water.
I'm glad you noticed that, and I'm glad that the field is in such great shape, even though you had that torrential rainfall the other night. Chris Hunter has dispensed with the top 3 in the Wizard order in the bottom of the third inning. As we go to the fourth, each team has a hit, and neither team has scored. This is Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Look around you. Everyone's different. Some of us are tall, many of us are short. If you think about it, there are many important differences among people. That's what makes us all individuals. Insurance needs are individual, too. Talk to your Pekin Insurance Agency, Sheets, Forrest, Draper Insurance in Marion, about the proper insurance coverages for your individual needs. See Scott Draper at Sheets, Forrest, Draper in Marion about insurance for your home, auto, life, health, or business. You can depend on your hometown professionals with Pekin Insurance.
Airport National 27-hole Public Golf Course invites you to join our golf family all year with these great specials. 2-for-1 green fees with cart, 2-for-1 range ball, 2-for-1 mini golf. Listen to this unbelievable new special. Only $25 per person for unlimited golf with cart all day long on weekdays, and only $27 per person for unlimited golf, including cart on weekends. Play unlimited twilight golf till dark with free riding cart for only $16 per person. Enjoy fast, friendly, and fun family golf at Cedar Rapids Airport National.
What that sound is? Let me help you out. In a jail cell door being slammed shut after you've been booked for DUI. Don't think you'll get caught? Think again. Officers are cracking down from coast to coast this month. So listen up. If you drive impaired, you will pay. The choice is yours. Designate a sober driver or you drink and drive, you lose. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
We are already through 3 innings. No score in Fort Wayne. Wizard broadcaster, official scorer Mike Macias is with us, and Ryan Leahy has laid off a couple of fastballs upstairs. He's ahead 2-0. Strike called. Ryan taking all the way. The Colonel leadoff batter hitting .271 in 18 games, a homer, 4 RBIs. Ryan is from Boston College. Stands straight away from the right side. Wears his Red Sox up high and awaits the 2-1 pitch. A deep drive to left. Way back at the wall, and it is over the left fielder's head, off the base of the wall. Ryan Leahy is turning into second with the leadoff stand-up double. Ryan Leahy launched a 2-1 delivery on a line over the head of Chris Kottaras in left. Leahy has his second double of the year, and the Colonels have their first good scoring chance of the evening. Ryan Leahy socking a double off the base of the wall in left to lead off the Colonel fourth inning. That brings in Howie Kendrick.
Leahy's the only batter of the 10 that Thompson has faced that's been ahead in the count. And when you're ahead in the count, you can pick a pitch that you like or a particular zone. And that's what happened that time. Good double off the wall.
Let's see if Howie Kendrick can bunt him to third. Yes, you think he can. A bunt up the first base line. Thompson whirls and fires to first. Sean gets Howie. And that, I've been on in the Kernels a little bit on this road trip for lack of spunk and lack of energy, but that was a terrific executed bunt. It went pitcher Thompson to Valenzuela Jr. at first, 1-3. Howie Kendrick with a magnificent bunt now gives the Kernels a great chance to break out on top here. We need a fly ball from Baltazar Lopez. And the infield is playing back, except at third base, where Brett Bonvecchio is playing where he could come home. Swing and a miss by Lopez, who struck out in the first inning. Baltazar hits lefties very well. He's batting .327 overall. A ground ball or a fly ball would give the Kernels lead here in this top of the fourth inning. The outfield is playing Baltazar to hit the other way into left. Strike two called at the knees, and now Lopez is at the mercy of Sean Thompson. Baltazar, the key man in the inning. It's his job to get the ball in play and score Ryan Leahy from third base.
I have to admit, John, I'm a little surprised that the Wizards' defensive alignment willing to give up a run on a ground ball.
Strike three called. Well, it doesn't matter now. I agreed, Mike, but a three-pitch strikeout of Baltazar Lopez. I'll be darned. You get a double and a sacrifice bunt, and all you have to do, and I know I'm minimizing the challenge, but all you have to do is put the ball in play to take the lead, and Lopez struck out on three pitches. Well, you don't blame Baltazar. You credit Sean Thompson for his sixth strikeout of the inning. Let's see if Matt Brown can pick up Lopez. Oh, Baltazar struck out on three pitches with a runner at third and one out. You can't do that. Swing and a miss by Brownie, strike one. Matt struck out looking to lead off the second. Leahy at third with two outs. We had him at third with one out and could not get him home. That's been the story of this road trip at least the last week or so. The Kernels have just not been able to produce when they need to. A little dribbler foul towards the Wizards' first base dugout, and Brown's in the hole 0-2 just as Lopez was. Boy, this Sean Thompson, if he gets out of this, the Wizards will have all the momentum in the game because he had a leadoff double. He was at third with one out, and the lefty struck out Lopez on three pitches. Here's the 0-2 to Brownie. Swing and a foul straight back. We're at home next Saturday. Game 2 of our regular season-ending homestand. Saturday, September 4th. Fox 28 and 40 television baseball night. The first 500 of you kids 12 and under receive a Kernel logo baseball next Saturday night. The game starts at 6:30. Those baseballs go to the first 500. Rolling one foul, fighting off a good curveball in on his hands, Matt Brown. Brownie's battling. He rolled it foul into the Kernel third base dugout. Fox 28 and 40 baseball night. The first 500 girls and boys 12 and under receive a free Kernel logo baseball from Fox 28 and 40 TV. That's Saturday, September 4th. Leahy at third with two out. No score, top of the fourth inning. Ball one high, and Luke Carlin, the catcher, had to come way out of his catching squat to prevent a wild pitch. Saturday, September 4th is also Clement Sausage Night. Two of you lucky Kernel fans will win a year's supply of bratwurst thanks to Clement Sausages. You'll also receive a tailgate grill if you're the winner of that year's supply of bratwurst for two. A tailgate grill, grilling utensils, apron, and T-shirt. It's called the Patio Daddy-O winner from Clement Sausages. The lefty is set. A ground ball to shallow short. Siriaco gloves it and throws Brownie out. I'll be darned. We needed that 1 out ago, but couldn't get it. We needed a ground ball 1 out ago and couldn't get it. Matt Brown rolls out to short to end the Kernel fourth inning. All the momentum now with the Wizards. How do you have a leadoff double, a runner at third with one out, your number 3 batter at the plate? I'll tell you how you don't score him. The lefty strikes him out on 3 pitches. No runs for the Kernels in the fourth. A leadoff double wasted. There were no Wizard errors. The Kernels leave their first man stranded of the evening. And after 3.5 from Fort Wayne, the Kernels nothing and the Wizards nothing. You're enjoying Kernel baseball on the Zone.
You can feel it. It's all you think about. It's in your blood. It's your mantra. Your reason for being. It's in our blood, too. That's why nobody has more football than the Zone. ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. The NFL. All season long, catch every play of every Sunday and Monday night game here in the Zone. The BCS? How about Sugar, Rose Fiesta, and the National Championship Orange Bowl? All live, all on the Zone. How about the AFC and NFC playoffs and championship games? The Zone. Super Bowl, the high holy day for football fans? 4 simple letters. Z-O-N-E. Getting the pattern here?
Can you stand anymore?
It's Big 12 Iowa State Cyclone football on Saturday and ESPN NFL Game Day all day Sunday. The Zone. Plus select pro high school football with Scott Unash, the Pat McGrath football Friday night scoreboard, and the Dave Barry Caldwell Banker High School tailgate tour. If you love football as much as we do, lock it on the Zone. ESPN Radio.
Are you ready for some football?
The way to mark an important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
All the momentum with the home team now. No score, bottom of the fourth, as Fernando Valenzuela Jr. takes high, ball one from Chris Hunter. Valenzuela Jr. walked with 2 out in the first inning. Ball 2 is inside. The Kernels squandering a leadoff double from Ryan Leahy in this scoreless game just in the top of the fourth inning. We bunted Leahy over to third, but he wilted there as the next 2 Kernels were retired. Strike 1 on the outside corner at the knees to Fernando Valenzuela Jr., a change-up from right-hander Chris Hunter. The Kernels are in their all-red caps, red knit batting practice tops, and red socks. What a delightful Monday night for baseball we have. Valenzuela Jr. corks one into deep center. Back is Cosby. He misread it. It's over his head and off the center field wall. A leadoff double for Fernando Valenzuela Jr. And let's see if the Wizards can do something the Kernels could not do in the top of the fourth inning, and that is take advantage of a leadoff double. We told you all the momentum is with Fort Wayne now after the Colonel's failure to make something of a leadoff double by Ryan Leahy, and sure enough, Fernando Valenzuela Jr. lofted one over the head of Quan Cosby. Quan could have or should have caught it, don't you think, Mike? He looked like he was kind of fooled by it.
That's the key, John. I think he was fooled by it. Fernando has done a lot of that this year. That's his 22nd double on the year, and a lot of them have been to straightaway center field.
The batter is Brett Von Vecchio. He will likely try to pull the ball on the ground to get Valenzuela to third, or he may be bunting. Kernels did a great job getting Leahy to third on a bunt after his leadoff double in this fourth inning. Ball one is outside. Brett Von Vecchio was not bunting. He took outside. This left-handed hitter lined to left in the Wizards' first inning. Great chance for the Wizards to break out on top. A similar opportunity squandered by the Kernels in the top of this fourth inning. Von Vecchio stands motionless. He uses a black lacquer bat. And he hits one into deep right, way back. Madrigal will catch it. The runner will tag, and he will go to third base. Good piece of hitting by Brett Von Vecchio as he tagged it pretty good on the track and right. And now the Wizards have the same opportunity the Kernels had in the top of the fourth. They have a runner at third with only one out. Let's see if the Kernel infield plays back or comes in for the play at the plate. They'll be coming in for the play at the plate. Terrific job of hitting by left-handed batter Brett Von Vecchio, who flew out to deep left, getting Fernando Valenzuela Jr. over to third base on the fly ball.
It's called the unofficial sacrifice.
Exactly right, Mike, exactly. Drew Macias corks one to center. It'll be caught by Quan. We will have a throw to the plate. Quan makes the catch, the throw home, and the runner is safe. Hey, the Wizards did it. They did something the Kernels couldn't do. They got a fly ball. How's that for good baseball, Mike Maz? Isn't that the way the game's supposed to be played? You get that runner to third, then you get the fly ball to take the lead 1-0.
It was a challenge for the Wizards. Fernando Valenzuela Jr. does not have that good of a speed. And I thought Cosby made a nice play home. I think if he could have been maybe 3 feet closer to home plate, he might have been able to throw Fernando out at the plate. But give the Wizards credit. They executed.
Yes, they did. 2 gone. The base is empty, and Justin Smyers at the plate. Strike 1. Don't blame Chris Hunter. The double was misplayed the ball to center was misplayed into a double, and his teammates failed him miserably in the top of this 4th inning, failed to get a runner home from third with 1 out, and the Wizards did get a runner home from third with 1 out, and that's good to see that kind of execution at this level. That's the way you should execute at this level of pro ball. Strike 2 swinging on Justin Smyers. Smyers reached on an error in left by Blake Balkin with 1 out in the 2nd. Chris Hunter pitched around that. Hunter's pitched another terrific game here tonight. Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Wizards. Boy, oh boy. You look at 2 innings that are exactly the same, and the one difference is one team was able to put the ball in play, the other was not. A changeup in the dirt, a swing and a miss, but the batter should reach first. Michael Collins throws from his knees and cannot retire the batter on the strikeout. A strikeout and a wild pitch, the 3rd strikeout of the evening for Chris Hunter, but the ball squirted at least 25 feet towards the Colonel third base dugout. Michael Collins slid on his shin guard, then threw to the right field side of first, and Justin Smyers made it to first base on the 2-out strikeout and wild pitch.
Always frustrating for a pitcher when you strike out a batter and you're unable to retire him.
And Chris Hunter will just have to come back and try to get Luke Cullen, a left-handed hitting catcher. A bouncer to first. No movement at all for Baltazar Lopez. He just reaches out, gloves it, steps on the base in the inning. Another good inning for Chris Hunter. The Wizards score 1 run on a misplay in center on 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors, a wild pitch, and 1 stranded by the Wizards. They've now left 4 men aboard. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Your chance to earn a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll is coming up next, our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge. After 4, Wizards 1, Kernels nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
When searching for a professional logistics team of experts to handle your warehousing operations, look at Worley Warehousing. Worley Warehousing will help you achieve greater efficiencies by providing superior warehouse facilities, technological advancements, and expert professionals. By focusing on technological innovations and keen foresight, Worley Warehousing has grown into one of our nation's leading warehousing operations. World Warehousing, your single source for all of your warehousing and distribution needs.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. Buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Just past 7 o'clock here in Fort Wayne. Just past 7 o'clock here in Fort Wayne. Same thing, just past 7 in eastern Iowa. And Mike Macias, why don't you take us through the next couple of innings, starting with the Colonel fifth. Blake Balkin standing in, and he drives one into right center. On the run, a diving try by Drew Macias. It gets by him. Blake Balkin trotting into second with his 29th double of the year. Mike Macias, take it away.
Well, that ball was well hit. Drew Macias moved far to his left and made the gallant try. He actually dove for the ball, if that's the right word, and couldn't quite come up with it. And the Kernels have their second runner in scoring position tonight, a leadoff double off the bat of Blake Balkin. And that will bring to the plate catcher Michael Collins. Collins took a call third strike his first time up back in the second inning. Outfield straight up. They're back at second and short. First pitch, a fastball misses wide, ball one.
Mike, it kind of looks like Collins is going to try to hit the ball on the ground to the right side of the infield. The Kernels bunted Kendrick over to third after his leadoff double in the fourth, and then he was
There is the bunt. Thompson has it. He will go to third and gets by Bonvecchio. Brett runs to pick it up. No further advance by Balcom. He stays at third.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Mike. I don't know if that'll be an error charged on the third baseman. Thompson never really had a handle on the bunt by Michael Collins to the left of home plate, and the throw to third was low, and it was a very hard throw, almost like a fastball. It looked like it handcuffed Bonvecchio, and it trickled away from him. Are you surprised Balcom held at third?
Not really, because though the ball went about 20 feet away, 20 feet, you have to run 90 feet, and
yes.
Who knows what's going to happen. They've given Collins credit for a bunt single.
Okay.
So runners on at the corners, nobody out, and that'll bring up Brandon Wood, the shortstop, right-hand hitter. Takes a fastball low and away, ball one. Wood 1 for 1 so far tonight. He singled to the right side his first time up, and then was gunned down trying to steal second. Valenzuela holding on to the runner at first. Rest of the infield halfway. Now there's a throw to first, and they have the runner picked off. Let's see what happens either way. Siriaco tags the runner out.
Oh, I have to laugh,
and
Mike.
I'm sorry, John.
I have to laugh. How can you... These Kernels are really disappointing me. You get Brandon Wood picked off first, leading off the second, and you have runners at first and third, nobody out. Why in the world are you getting picked off first base if you're Michael Collins? The caught stealing goes 1, 3, 6, right?
That's correct.
And now runner at third, 1 out. That's just very poor baseball.
Next pitch, fastball misses outside. 2-0 the count to Brandon Wood. Waiting on deck, the right fielder, Warner Madrigal.
First and third, nobody out, and your guy at first gets picked off? You got to be kidding me.
Well, perhaps he was hoping that there would be a play at the plate, but that never happened.
Yeah, Balcom never broke towards the plate. Oh, gosh, we better get all this bad baseball out of our system before the playoffs.
Next pitch misses. It's now 3-0 the count to Brandon Wood. We'll see if he has the green light on 3-0. The set and the pitch. Fastball catches the outside part of the plate. The count now 3-1.
Well, the Wizard infield is in for the play at the plate as the Kernels are going to try to tie this one up with Balcom at third and nobody out. Or 1 out now.
Thompson gets his sign, sets, and delivers. Pop-up right side of the infield. Smyers just on the edge of the outfield grass. Moves around. Basket catch for out number 2. And staying at third base is Blake Balcom. Justin Smyers, I'm not sure there's that much wind blowing, John, but he made a little circus basket catch.
I think what happened, Mike, is that he was drawn in for the play at the plate, and by the way now, runner at third, 2 outs. We had runners at first and third, nobody out. This is unbelievable baseball that we're playing right now, unbelievably poor baseball. And, yes, I think the reason that Smyers staggered underneath it, he was drawn in, and he had to go way back 10 feet out into right field.
Madrigal, first pitch swinging, hits a chopper to short, and Siriaco boots it.
Oh.
In to score comes Balcom. Game is tied at 1, and it is ruled an error, the 45th error of the year on shortstop Juan Siriaco. Ball wasn't hit all that hard.
No, he did have to charge, Mike.
But Siriaco charged in and just muffed it, plain and simple. And Johnny on the spot, Blake Balcom running on the pitch with 2 outs, crosses home plate. And the Kernels have tied this game up at 1 apiece. They are still batting now. Center fielder Quan Cosby at the plate. He squares around a bunt, takes a fastball outside, ball 1. Cosby tonight 0 for 1, hit a fly ball that left fielder Chris Kohlhorst made a nice running catch on because the ball initially looked like it was hit over his head. Now time is called, and catcher Luke Carlin's going to walk out to the mound to talk to his pitcher, Sean Thompson.
And, Mike, that'll give us a chance to let our listeners know that they can log on right now to our website, www.kernels.com, www.kernels, Kernels.com. Click on the link on the right side of the home page. Click on the link on the right side of the home page to email us with your answer to our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question here from Fort Wayne. We need your name, address, phone number. Your name, address, phone number, and the date, August 30th, and then the answer to this Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. What teammate did George Brett edge out by .001 to win the 1976 AL batting title? What Kansas City teammate did George Brett edge out by, I guess it's 1/100th of a percentage to win the 1976 AL batting title?
1-0 pitch lined into center field. Macias on the run and makes a nice running catch to retire the side. But for Cedar Rapids in the fifth, they do tie the game. They score 1 run on 2 hits. There was a costly Fort Wayne error and 1 runner left on base. We're halfway through tonight's ball game. And the score is tied at 1-1. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Get more alive, going out, gotta get things done, that's what it's all about. Yeah, working all day, it's the power to do. It's how you live, it's best for you. We bring the power to you every time. You got the power and I can't do it. We're on for you.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
We move to the bottom half of the fifth inning here at Memorial Stadium in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Along with John Rogers, this is Mike Miles. Very happy to be working with John again this year. Wizards come to bat, and now they come to bat in the ballgame that is tied as the Kernels scored the equalizer in the top half of this inning. It'll be Juan Siriaco, Chris Kokhorst, and Brian Walbrink to face Chris Hunter. Siriaco takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Juan struck out swinging to end the Wizards' second inning. Right-hand hitting shortstop. Swings and misses at the next pitch, way out in front of a breaking ball. And Siriaco was behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Infield back, outfield straight up on the right-hand hitting Siriaco. Next pitch, fouled off to the left side. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
Mike, I'm going to check with your colleagues down the way between innings. I believe they may have, on that bunt by Collins.
Next pitch lined into center field for a base hit. Crosby picks it up on one hop and throws it back into the infield. So Siriaco leads off the Wizard fifth with a single to center.
On an 0-2 pitch nonetheless. I believe Collins may have been credited with a sacrifice and then a fielder's choice. I see that the Kernels have 3 hits, and I think the 3 hits are owned by Wood, Leahy, and Balcom. I think Collins was probably awarded a sacrifice in that Kernel top of this 5th inning.
Now, my colleague Mike Jewell, who's the other official scorer, will be happy to answer any questions you have, John. Throw to first, back in time is Siriaco. In the batter's box is left fielder Chris Kokhorst, playing just his 5th game for Fort Wayne. Came up from their Eugene team. Another throw to first. Back in time is Siriaco. Siriaco on the year, 5 out of 12 in stolen base attempts. Chris Hunter gets his sign. He sets and delivers. Fastball outside, ball 1. Matt Brown in on the grass at third base. Lopez holding on to Siriaco over at first. And the Keystone combination in double play depth. Here's the set. The look over to first. Now a throw to first. Back in time, Siriaco. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Kernels. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Wizards. We play in the bottom of the 5th inning here in Fort Wayne. Here's the set by Hunter. Runner goes. It's a pitch out. Throw down to second. And Siriaco stops and is tagged out by shortstop Brandon Wood. Officially, it'll go in the books as a 2-6. Catcher to shortstop caught stealing.
You know, Mike, and you called it beautifully, Siriaco stopped dead in his tracks 20 feet from second base. It makes me wonder if not only did the Kernels make the right call on the pitch out, but perhaps a hit and run was on.
Possibly. I know the Wizards, as a team, they do not bunt all that often. Base is empty now. 2-0 pitch, fouled off left side out of play. So the count to Chris Kokhorst is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Mike, what's the name of that busy thoroughfare beyond the left center field wall that it looks like one of the busiest highways or streets in Fort Wayne?
This is called Coliseum Boulevard, John. And if you go back about a mile or so, next pitch lined into left field for a base hit. Good hitting by Kokhorst. He was ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike, found a pitch he liked, and ripped it into left field for a 1-out single. So the Wizards have a runner on, 1 out, and that'll bring up right fielder Brian Walbrink. To finish my answer, John, if you go about a mile westward, you will have what's called Coliseum Boulevard and Coldwater Road, and that is the second busiest intersection in the state of Indiana.
Oh, my goodness.
Only behind an intersection in Indianapolis.
Wow.
Walbrink stands in, 0 for 2 on the night. Takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
The lights are starting to take effect. Twilight turning into dusk here. It's a beautiful Monday night in Fort Wayne and a very good-sized crowd on hand for dollar hot dogs, sodas, and beer.
Here's the set by Chris Hunter. And the pitch. Line shot into left field. And it is hit deep. It is back, and it is gone. Into the tater stack for a 2-run home run off the bat of Brian Walbrink. For Walbrink, that is his 8th home run of the year. And RBI's number 40 and 41. And John, he had a good rip at a fastball, and he made the most of it.
Yes, he lined it over that 16-foot high wall in left into the tater sack, and 3-1 Wizards. As long as the Kernels continue to make boneheaded base running plays and struggle to score runs, there's no room for error. Chris Hunter giving up just his 9th home run of the season, and the first 3 Wizards have reached here in their 5th inning. They lead it 3-1.
Designated hitter George Kottaras stands in, takes a fastball inside, ball 1. Kottaras 0 for 1 officially, walked in the first inning, popped out to the second baseman in the third. Takes a fastball in for a strike, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Well, fans here in Fort Wayne kind of happy after that 2-run home run off the bat of Brian Walbrink. See if Chris Hunter can bear down. Next pitch misses low. 2 balls and a strike to Kottaras. First baseman Fernando Valenzuela Jr. waiting on deck. Wind up in the pitch inside. 3-1 to count to Kottaras, and it looks possibly, John, that maybe Chris Hunter is a little miffed after giving up that gopher ball.
Yeah, I think it's upset him pretty good.
He gets his sign. He winds and delivers. Fastball outside. Kottaras draws a base on balls.
First 4 have reached now here in this Fort Wayne 5th inning. Let's tell you about Sunday, September 5th, as Eric Bennett comes out of the Kernel third base dugout. Some action stirring in the Kernel left field bullpen. 3-1 Wizards here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sunday, September 5th, 1 o'clock, Reader Recognition Day. Toyota Financial Services 1,000-minute Reader Recognition Day. The gates open at 1. That's when all the readers will be spewing into the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. They'll be entertained after the pregame recognition ceremony by the goofball of baseball, Myron Noodleman. Myron Noodleman will be at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium Sunday, September 5th. A 2 o'clock start. The gates open at 1. And it's important you know that because Alliant Energy will be giving out 2,000 hand fans to the first 2,000 of you Kernel fans to come on Sunday, September 5th. And Iowa Office Supply will be presenting 1,000 Kernel pennants on Sunday, September 5th. A 2 o'clock start at home against the West Michigan Whitecaps. The gates open at 1 on Sunday, September 5th.
Well, Eric Bennett has had his say, and he's back into the Kernel dugout. And there is a right-hander up and throwing.
Alan Buckley.
Fernando Valenzuela swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. And John, up until about 2 weeks ago, it seemed like Fernando Valenzuela never swung at a first pitch, but he's done so more recently. He's behind in the count, 0-1. He's at 1-for-1 officially. Walked, doubled, and scored a run. Short lead for Kottaras. Next pitch, Valenzuela way out in front of a pitch. It's nothing but air, and now Fernando's behind in the count, 0-2. And this is one of the fun parts of baseball, John, when a batter is behind in the count or pitcher ahead in the count, whatever you want to call it, 0-2. Does the pitcher go right at him, or does he throw a waste pitch?
Ordinarily, Chris Hunter doesn't waste one, but he also doesn't groove one. He's very good when he's ahead in the count. Boy, could the Kernels use a strikeout, double play, or pop-up here to get out of this tough fifth inning.
Here's the set. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside. 1-2 the count. Outfield is shaded slightly towards right. We're back in double play depth at second and short. Lopez holding onto the runner at first. And Brown about halfway at third. Hunter gets his sign. Sets and delivers. Breaking ball up high. And the count now is even at 2-2.
Again, our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. What Kansas City teammate did George Brett edge out by .001% to win the 1976 AL batting title?
Here's the set by Hunter. Look over to first. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field. Balcom draws a beat on it, makes the catch. Returning to first base is Kottaras, as Valenzuela flies out to left for out number 2.
To answer our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question, log on to our website at www.kernels.com and then click on the link on the right side of the home page. Email us your name, address, phone number, the date, August 30th. That's your name, address, and phone number, the date, August 30th. And the answer to our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question, what Kansas City teammate did George Brett edge out by 1/100th of a percentage point to win the 1976 American League batting title?
I got an idea, but I'll ask you all fair between innings. Brett Bonvecchio stands in, and he is hit with a pitch. Fastball caught him on the back, and Bonvecchio jogs down to first base.
15th hit batsman by Chris Hunter this season.
So with 2 outs, the Wizards, if I get my tongue untied, have runners on at first and second. And that will bring up center fielder Drew Macias. Macias 0-for-1 tonight. He popped out. The shortstop Brandon Wood leading off the second inning and had a sacrifice fly in the fourth. Left-handing center fielder. Takes a fastball inside, ball 1.
Alan Buckley ready to go in the Colonel bullpen if needed.
Chris Hunter trying to end this inning right now if he can. He gets his sign. He sets. He looks back to second and delivers. Swung on and missed. Macias out in front of it. Looked like a changeup, John. The count's even at a ball and a strike.
It was a dandy let up. You're right, Mike, on that 1-0 pitch. Lucky we picked off that or caught that guy stealing to start the inning, or it would be a bigger lead for the Wizards.
Fastball misses wide. Collins faked a throw down to second base. Kottaras, not with the greatest of speed, as most catchers have a lack of speed. Gets back to the bag. 2 balls and a strike, 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the fifth. Wizards lead 3-1 over the Kernels. Game 1 of a 4-game series. Breaking ball catches inside corner for a strike. Nice curveball. And now the count's even to Macias at 2-2. Waiting on deck is second baseman Justin Smyers. Hunter hopes he doesn't have to face Smyers. He sets and delivers. Cue shot off the end of the bat. Macias stays alive. Count remains 2-2.
The scoreboard here is above the right center field wall, 16 feet high. It's a standard scoreboard with balls, strikes, out, number at bat, guessed, Wizards, and inning by inning account of the game.
Here's the set by Hunter. And again, the 2-2 pitch. A little shot down the left field line, foul over near the Cedar Rapids bullpen. Macias staying alive. Count remains 2-2. Let me do a selfish plug, John. If you see any mistakes on that scoreboard tonight, we can blame my youngest son, Robbie.
So what, he hit a home run off of it?
No, my 2 boys are 2 of the 3 scoreboard operators here this year for the Wizards. Next pitch, fly ball, right field. Just shy of the warning track, Madrigal draws a beat on it and makes a catch to retire the side. but it's a productive inning for Fort Wayne. They break the 1-1 tie, scoring 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no Kernel errors and 2 runners left on base. After 5 innings of play, our score now reads Wizards 3, Kernels 1. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Solid Waste and Recycling Services remind you how to prepare your garbage for curbside collection.
Oh, tell me more.
Make sure you use a 35-gallon garbage can or a large plastic bag. The weight limit is 40 pounds. If you have more garbage than fits in your can or bag, or weighs more than 40 pounds, buy a sticker.
How much are they?
$1.25 sticker is required for each additional garbage can or bag you set out.
Where can I buy one?
You can buy garbage stickers at any grocery, convenience, or drugstore.
With a blazing fastball, Iowa's Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller earned the name Rapid Robert for his miraculous beats no matter what you called him. The same goes for Banks Heating and Air Conditioning, now known as Comfort Solutions by Banks. Comfort Solutions by Banks brings with it the same quality and dependability you've counted on for years. Comfort Solutions by Banks offers free quotes and high-efficiency, environmentally friendly Lennox equipment. Call Comfort Solutions by Banks today at 854-6945. Lennox, making your home a better place with Comfort Solutions by Banks.
Kernels come to bat here. I'm sorry. Move on, please.
Kernels come bat here in the top of the 6th inning, trailing the Fort Wayne Wizards 3-1. At the top of the order, Ryan Leahy, Howie Kendrick, and Baltazar Lopez to face the left-hander Sean Thompson. Leahy 1 for 2 tonight. Popped out to second base to lead off the ball game and then had a double. And was left stranded at third base in the 4th. Takes the pitch outside, ball 1. Sean Thompson goes into the motion, delivers, swung on and missed. And Leahy is, the count is even, now 1-1. 3-4-1 for the Wizards, 1-3-1 for the Kernels. Kernels trying to come from behind again. They bat here in the top of the 6th. Next pitch way outside. 2 balls and a strike to Ryan Leahy. Ryan came into the game tonight batting .271. 1 home run, 4 run batted in. Right-hand hitting. Designated hitter tonight. A wind up and a pitch. Fastball misses inside. And now the count is 3 balls and a strike. And now John Ryan can be picky. He can choose whether he wants to swing 3-1 pitch or he can go to a full count.
And he stepped out for a moment to gather his thoughts about that very decision.
A wind up and a 3-1 pitch. Fouled back over the screen and in the stands.
There are 10 rows of royal blue box seats here at Memorial Stadium, then a wide walkway, and then 5 rows of royal blue seats, and then 15 rows of aluminum back bleachers. No grandstand roof. This is an open-air amphitheater-like structure.
Leahy digs in. Thompson gets a sign from catcher Luke Carlin. The 1 and the 3-2 pitch up high, ball 4. So Ryan Leahy starts the Kernel 6th with a base on balls.
And Ryan has filled the bill beautifully so far as the leadoff hitter, reaching base for the 3rd time and her 2nd time in 3 at-bats.
Valenzuela will now hold on to the bag. Leahy 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts. And second baseman Howie Kendrick comes to the plate. Kendrick 0 for 1 plus a sacrifice. Right-hand hitter. Good size lead for Leahy. Fastball up high, ball 1.
Sean Thompson has already picked off 2. You said earlier this season you saw 3 West Michigan Whitecaps get singles and all 3 picked off.
It's amazing. In a couple of other games, I know he's picked off 2 in a game. And he's gotten 2 tonight. Although technically they're caught stealing. Basically picked him off.
Yes, he did.
He's set. Delivers to the plate, swung on and missed. Kendrick misses on a fastball, and the count's even at a ball and a strike. And interesting, John, Ryan Leahy is trying to watch the move of Sean Thompson. And both times, he took a step back towards first, and I think he wants to go. Kernel's trying to get something started here in the 6th. They trail 3-1. Here's the set by Thompson. To look over to first and a throw to first. Back in plenty of time, Leahy. Outfield gets slightly towards right. Bonvecchio playing it halfway at third. Siriaco and Smyers double play depth at short and second respectively. Fastball swung on, foul ball right side out of play. And Kendrick now is behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. First baseman Baltazar Lopez waiting on deck. And it looks like Alan Buckley has stopped throwing for the moment in the Kernel bullpen. Thompson gets his sign from catcher Luke Carlin. Looks at first, throws to first. Probably the C or D move. It wasn't thrown very hard. And Leahy was only a couple of strides off the bag. We'll do it all over again. Here's the set by Thompson. Pitch to plate. Inside. Nice stop by Carlin. No chance for advancement by Leahy. And the count's even at 2-2. Richard scored once in the fourth. Kernels tied it with a run on the top of the fifth, only to see Fort Wayne come back on a 2-run home run, taking the 3-1 lead. That's where we're at. Kernels have a runner on at first, nobody out. Here in the top of the sixth. Now time is called. Thompson and Carlin unable to get their sign straight. So Howie Kendrick says, no, let's take a moment and everyone will regroup. Here's the set and the pitch. Foul ball right side out of play. Howie Kendrick hanging tough. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mike, you have professional hockey here, and you've remodeled your historic Coliseum just to the left.
Yes, we have. And the Fort Wayne Comets, for I believe it was 49 years, a member of the National Hockey League, and for the past few years, a member of the United Hockey League. Another foul ball off to the right side. Kendrick making Sean Thompson work here at this at-bat. There's already been 6 pitches thrown. Count remains 2-2. In fact, last 2 seasons ago, the Comets won the United Hockey League Championship. Last year, they were defeated in the second round of the playoffs. Once again, the 2-2 pitch and another foul. 4 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Howie Kendrick.
Mike, where does it rank as far as the NHL? Is it a couple of levels below the NHL? Is it about a AA brand hockey?
Probably, John, because you have the NHL, you have the American Hockey League, which is probably AAA. You have the Central Hockey League and the UHL, and they're very close. Thompson sets. Once more, the 2-2 pitch. Inside corner, call, strike 3. Howie Kendrick not happy about it. But I believe that's the 7th strikeout for Sean Thompson.
That was some battle between our .362 hitter Howie Kendrick and lefty Sean Thompson, and Thompson had to paint that inside corner to finally get Howie looking.
1 out. Leahy still on at first base. That'll bring up first baseman Baltazar Lopez. Lopez has already struck out twice tonight against Thompson, so we'll see if he can get bat on the ball. First pitch, line shot, through the right side into right field. Stopping at second base is Leahy, as Lopez wasted no time swinging at the first pitch he saw, and he collects his first hit of the night, a single through the right side into right field.
And he hit it so well, Mike, that Ryan Leahy had to hold up at second, and with 2 on and 1 out, a chance for Matt Brown to get the Kernels right back in the game. We're only down 3-1. It's only the top of the 6th inning. Mike Macias is our broadcast partner here during our 4 nights in Fort Wayne, and we'll look forward to bringing you Kernel baseball the next 3 nights. 5:40 dugout interview time, 6 o'clock will be first pitches here from Memorial Stadium.
Right-hand hitting Matt Brown digs in. He's 0 for 2 so far tonight, but he's a chance to deliver a run with a base hit. Pitch gets by Carlin, and both runners will move up. The pitch was a ball, and not sure if that'll be ruled a wild pitch or a pass ball.
Let me see if our speaker system is on, Mike. They'll announce it.
We've had some problems with John, but maybe it'll work. In any event, the runners each move up a base. So now there's what we call 2 ducks in a pond. Runners on at second and third with just 1 out. Thompson remains pitching from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Brown misses fastball on the count, even him at a ball and a strike.
We'll have to find out if that's a wild pitch or a pass ball, but it was a big advancement by Leahy to third and Lopez up to second, because now a ground ball or a fly ball by Matt Brown makes it a one-run game. A base hit would likely tie the game.
The set and the pitch. Another swing and a miss. Brown unable to find the Thompson pitch, and now Matt's behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blake Balcom waiting on deck. Kernels with runners in scoring position at second and third. 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th inning, they trail 3-1. In game 1 of a 4-game series, the final 4 home games of the year for the Fort Wayne Wizards. Thompson looking in. Now he gets his sign from catcher Carlin. He sets and delivers. Fastball down low. Blocked by Luke Carlin. And now he calls time, and he's going to go out and have a talk with Sean Thompson. Probably saying something to the effect of, hey, Sean, let's put the ball in play. Not throw it in the dirt. Can't afford to give up a run on a wild pitch or a pass ball.
Monday, September 6th, our final regular season home game of the year, Fan Appreciation Day. Souvenir and concession specials will abound, and after the game on Monday the 6th, our last regular season home game at 2 o'clock start, a 30-minute on-field session with the Kernels. You can collect autographs, pose for pictures, or play catch with the Kernel players. Monday, September 6th, Labor Day, a 2 o'clock start. We'll also have a chance for you to auction to purchase the Kernel Red Knit batting practice tops in auction.
2-2 pitch fouled off the right side out of play. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Matt Brown.
Again, our Kernel Red Knit batting practice tops, which we've worn almost exclusively on this 12-game road trip, will be auctioned off via a silent auction during the game. Monday, September 6th, Labor Day, a 2 o'clock start, our last regular season home game of the year.
Selfishly speaking, John, I like those jerseys.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Once again, a 2-2 pitch. Curveball catches the inside corner. Call strike 3. Matt Brown dejectedly walks back to the dugout. Strikeout victim for the second time tonight. 8 strikeouts now, I believe, for Sean Thompson. 2 away. Still runners on at second and third. Now it'll be up to Blake Balcom.
Well, for the second time this game, the Kernels needed a ground ball, just somebody to put the bat on the ball. Couldn't do it. Baltazar Lopez couldn't do it. In the 4th inning, it would have resulted in a run. All Matt Brown needed to do here in the 6th inning to make it a 1-run game was put the ball on the ground, and credit lefty Sean Thompson for preventing the Kernel leading RBI man from doing that.
Balcom takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Blake tonight, strikeout victim in the 2nd inning, doubled and scored the only Kernel run back in the 5th. Has a chance to do some damage now with runners on at second and third and 2 outs. Right-hand hitter. Swings and misses at a fastball. Mano-a-mano that time, and Thompson was the victor. Count even at a ball and a strike. Balcom steps out of the box for a minute. Composes himself, says, I'll get the next one. Bring it on. Now he stands back in. Runners take their lead, second and third. Tom set. And delivers. Fastball inside. And Balcom now ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. On deck, catcher Michael Collins. Kernels trying to get back into this ball game. They trail here in the top of the 6th inning 3-1, but they do have runners on at second and third with 2 outs. Here's the set by Thompson. And the pitch fouled off right side out of play. And into the stands. And now the count's even at 2-2. Ball delivers some fresh supply baseballs to our home plate umpire tonight, Timothy Dopp. No action in either bullpen at the moment. And Buckley was throwing earlier for the Kernels. Balcom digs in. Thompson gets his sign, set. And a 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball off fifth. Blake Balcom staying alive. It remains 2-2. If one thing, John, this inning, the Kernels have made Sean Thompson throw a lot of pitches.
They sure have. Thompson, the reason he's kept his team ahead is he's fanned 8 Kernels in 5 2/3 innings. 8.
First 5 innings, he had only thrown 58 pitches. Here's the set, and once again, a 2-2 swung on and missed. Balcom took a shot at a high fastball and missed it. Strikes out to retire the side. Kernels threatening the sixth. They have a walk and a single, but they ran to pair. As we head down to the bottom of the sixth inning, our score remains Wizards 3, Kernels 1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hawkeye, Cyclone, and now Panther fans. The football season is almost here, and it's time to stock up on your favorite team's merchandise at Off-Campus Apparel and Novelties. You know Off-Campus has all your Hawkeye and Cyclone stuff. Well, now, Off-Campus also carries a full line of UNI Panther products. Off-Campus has necessities like shirts, hats, and jackets. Plus, they have all the gear that makes tailgating so much fun, like flags, chairs, coolers, cups, and napkins. And not just for guys. Off-Campus also stocks the largest selection of women's and children's clothing in the Cedar Rapids area. You don't have to show up to the game in an unflattering t-shirt or sweatshirt made for a guy. Wear something with style from Gear, Champion, or Jones & Mitchell. Off-Campus Apparel and Novelties. A stadium full of Hawkeye, Cyclone, and now Panther products. See them on Collins Road next to Biaggi's. Stop in to get ready for the season or shop online at offcampusapparel.com. But always remember, fans, stay on your side of the store.
ESPN Radio had all the Olympic headlines. Paul Hahn's gold medal controversy. The men's basketball team struggles. The softball team's dominance. Michael Phelps swings his way to the record books. But who can forget that one shining moment in Athens? That moment embedded in our minds for eternity. The women's beach volleyball celebration.
Wait a minute. We weren't even watching that.
But I got every glorious detail on ESPN Radio.
Fort Wayne Wizards come to bat in their half of the sixth inning, and they will be facing a new pitcher as right-hander Alan Buckley takes to the mound. For Alan, this will be his 45th appearance of the year. He has a record of 3 wins and 1 defeat. He has an earned run average of 4.32. He's pitched 66 and 2/3 innings, given up 41 runs, 32 of those earned, 65 hits. He's walked 32, struck out 65. Thrown 9 wild pitches. The opposition is batting .252 off of him.
Final line on Chris Hunter, who cannot win his 10th of the night this year. He pitched well, 5 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 a 2-run homer, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, a hit batter. Alan Buckley, the winner Thursday night in Clinton, 2 scoreless innings to garner a victory.
And Buckley will face the bottom 3 of the Wizard batting order: Justin Smyers, Luke Carlin, and Juan Siriaco. First pitch to Smyers is a strike, 0-1. Smyers 0 for 2 tonight. Fastball up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Smyers reached base on error by the left fielder Blake Balcom back in the second inning, and he struck out swinging, but reached base on a wild pitch in the 4th. Next pitch taken for a strike, and now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Justin Smyers. And it looks like right-hander Matt Varner loosening up in the Wizard bullpen. Now, the only reason I can tell you that, John, is because I see a single-digit number, Matt, number 6. Next pitch, fastball up high, 2-2 the count of Smyers. On deck, catcher Luke Carlin.
Your colleague Terry told us that if the Wizards have a lead going into the 9th inning, you have an Eric Gagne. People around here wear T-shirts that say "Game Over."
Chopper on the right side. First baseman Lopez up with it, tosses to the pitcher covering. Nice play on both parts. Lopez and Buckley to retire Smyers. So 1 up, 1 away. Put out goes first baseman, the pitcher covering. And that'll bring to the plate catcher Luke Carlin. Carlin tonight 0 for 2. Struck out in the second and grounded out the first baseman Lopez in the 4th. Switch hitting, catcher batting left-handed, hits a 2-hopper to the second baseman Kendrick, who fires over to Lopez at first. So first pitch swinging, Luke Carlin bounces out second to first, quickly 2 up and 2 away in the Wizards 6th. And that'll bring to the ninth batter, shortstop Juan Siriaco.
What do you say, Mike? Is Leo Rosales does what everybody's billed him at? Is he one of the best relievers in this Midwest League?
I believe so. He's 23 of 24, I believe, in save attempts.
Well, I can't get much better than that.
First pitch to Siriaco, a curveball, bends in for a strike, 0-1. And the one save that he blew was a game that I had the privilege of going on the radio back in Fort Wayne a couple of weeks ago against Lansing. Gave up a run in the 9th inning, and the game ended up going 15 innings. Next pitch, curveball again gets in for a strike, and Quickly, Buckley is in front of Siriaco, 0-2, and Wizards thought they were going to get the victory, and turned out Lansing won the ball game 5-4 in 15 innings. 0-2 pitch, popped up foul, right side out play. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Left fielder Chris Kohlhorst waits on deck. 3-1 Wizards as they bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-4-1 for Fort Wayne, 1-4-1 for Cedar Rapids in a somewhat quickly played first 6 innings. Alan Buckley winds and pitches. Ground ball to first base, Lopez. And Siriaco beat it out. Buckley got a late start off the mound. And Juan Siriaco beat it out for an infield hit.
What happened there, Mike, is Juan Siriaco had 90 feet to go from home to first. Alan Buckley about 50 feet to go from the mound to first. And Alan Buckley got a slow start off the mound, and the underhand toss by Lopez not in time. An infield single. And Juan Siriaco, the number 9 hitter, is 2 for 3. That was a shame because Alan Buckley looked like he was on his way to an easy 1-2-3 inning.
And sadly, again, it was an 0-2 pitch that Siriaco hit. Let's see what happens now. Kohlhorst swings at the first pitch and fouls it back to the screen. No balls and a strike. Chris tonight, 1 for 3, grounded out the first in the first inning. Get a ground ball to the shortstop Brandon Wood leading off the third, and then singled and scored just ahead of the Brian Walbrink home run in the 5th. Left-hand hitting left fielder Chris Kohlhorst. Say that 3 times in a row in a hurry.
That's not easy.
Siriaco with a short lead. Curveball misses outside. A ball and a strike to Chris Kohlhorst.
We'll be checking in with our in-studio engineer Jake after this bottom of the 6th inning and starting to round up scores for you on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Here's the set and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and a strike to Kohlhorst.
We can tell you that this afternoon, an interleague game at Comiskey Park, a wild one, the White Sox 9 and Philadelphia 8. And this afternoon at Turner Field, the Braves trim the Giants 7-6.
There's a fastball that catches the outside corner. Count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, right fielder Brian Walbrink right now has accounted for the difference in this ball game with a 2-run homer back in the 5th. Buckley trying to end the inning right now. He's set. Now he throws over to first base. Back in time is Siriaco.
The other games tonight, only one in the American League, the Tigers and Royals at Kauffman Stadium. 4 games in the National League. And again, we'll have scores for you in the Kernels 7th inning after we check in with Jake, our in-studio engineer.
Siriaco goes, but the pitch is fouled off towards the first base coaching box.
Well, Mike, prep football starts in Iowa in earnest this Friday. It started in Illinois this past Friday. When does it start here in the Hoosier State?
We have had 2 weeks of high school football already.
You're kidding me.
Nope. It always starts the 3rd Friday in August and ends on Thanksgiving weekend down at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis with 5 championship games, 5 classes of football in the state of Indiana. Buckley sets, pitches. Q shot down the third baseline, foul ground, giving it a great effort, but unable to make the play is Matt Brown. It'll just go as a foul ball.
Yeah, that was some hustle by Colonel All-Star third baseman who had to race down the left field line about 90 feet and then took a nasty spill. I think he scraped his chin on the grass, so the ball perhaps popped up and hit Matt in the chin. A great effort on that little blooper down the left field line by leadoff batter Kohlhorst. And I'll tell you what, Matt Brown is trying to do everything he can, and this entire Colonel Ball Club has just hit a rut. It's that simple. I don't know if we've hit the wall in terms of our energy level or perhaps a lull before the playoffs. We certainly are facing hungry teams. We have to keep that in mind. We're playing down the stretch against 3 teams, Clinton, Fort Wayne, and West Michigan at home this weekend that are fighting for their playoff lives.
Well, once again, a 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Kendrick up with it. Fires over to first in time to retire Kohlhorst and retire the side. For the Wizards in the 6th, no runs a hit, no errors, 1 runner left. We're 2/3 of the way through our ball game here tonight at Memorial Stadium, and after 6 innings, our score reads Wizards 3, Kernels 1. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, Injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
This is an emergency. This isn't. Say it's an evening or a weekend, and you have you don't need, but you'd rather not for your doctor's office to open. That's when it's time to visit a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic. Just walk in, limp in, or even crawl in. And a Mercy Care physician will help you feel better faster. There's a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic near you. Mercy Care North in the new Mercy Health Plaza on Council Street Northeast, and Mercy Care South on Edgewood Road Southwest. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., and weekends, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So next time you have, visit a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic in your neighborhood.
Kernels come to bat in the top half of the seventh inning, and they will be facing a new pitcher as the right-hander Matt Varner takes to the hill. For Matt, this is his 16th appearance of the year. He has a record of 2-2, an earned run average of 1.50. He's pitched 18 innings, given up 4 runs, 3 earned on 16 hits. He's walked only 5, struck out 15, thrown 1 wild pitch, and the opposition is batting .254 off of him. First batter he will face is catcher Michael Collins, who swings at the first pitch and fouls it off, 0-1.
Lefty Sean Thompson, brilliant. 6 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts. He struck out 9 Kernels in 6 innings, including fanning the side twice, and he walked only 1.
The windup and the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Siriaco has it. Fires over first in time. A nice play by Juan Siriaco. That's one of the plays where he's had trouble in for over the last 4 or 5 weeks, but he went to his left, fielded it cleanly, and fired a strike to Valenzuela at first to retire Collins.
Oh, did he ever, Mike? He made a terrific play in terms of his range. That ball was by the mound in a blink of an eye and headed past the second base bag up the middle. There was Siriaco. Not an easy play. It didn't come up for him. He had to reach down fully extended. He robbed Collins of a leadoff single.
Here's shortstop Brandon Wood takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Brandon tonight 1 for 2. Singled back in the 3rd inning and then was caught stealing. And he popped out to second baseman Justin Smyers in the 5th. Right-hand hitter. With the fastball in for a strike, and the count is even at 1-1.
State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Lanny Peterson bring us this look at the State Farm agent scoreboard. We'll get to it in a moment.
A 1-1 pitch out of the back of the screen, and the count now to Brandon is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
In the National League tonight at Olympic Stadium, the Cubs 5, Montreal nothing, bottom of 6th inning. Bottom of the 5th, it's Shea, Mets, and Marlin tied at 1. Houston and the Reds are even at 3 at Great America Ballpark in the bottom of the 5th. In the bottom of the 2nd at Miller Park, Pirates lead the Brewers 2-0.
1-2 pitch misses outside. And the count to Wood is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Only game in the American League tonight is at Kauffman Stadium. We're in the top of the 3rd. The Tigers are ahead of the Royals 4-0.
They're glad to be out of Boston. They got swept in a 4-game series by the Red Sox over the weekend. Next pitch, ground ball to short. Siriaco backhands it. Fires to first, not in time. As Brandon Wood beats it out, showing some good speed.
Well, that was just sheer hustle by Brandon Wood. Siriaco backhanded it, and I don't think he took his time. Came straight over the top with the throw, Mike, and Brandon Wood just, well, Randy Reddy's questioning the call, and I did too. I thought Brandon Wood was out at first, but the base umpire, Darren Badon, signaled safe, and Brandon has his 2nd hit of the game, an infield single. Randy Reddy is between first base and the mound, giving an earful to Darren Badon. What did you think?
I'll be honest, I think Wood beat it out.
Okay.
And the reason I think he did, the ball wasn't hit all that hard. I felt Siriaco fielded it cleanly. I think perhaps he waited. Again, we talk about you either come in on a play or you wait back. It wasn't a hop. It was a straight ground ball.
And it was a backhanded
It was
play.
a backhanded play. It was fielded cleanly. Again, this is me personally. I feel Wood hustled on the play.
He did.
And beat it out. Give Brandon Wood credit for staying with it.
Oh, Brandon deserves all the credit in the world. He's mired in a tail fin, has 2 hits tonight. Let's see if he can, well, with the left-hander Thompson not on the hill anymore, hopefully he won't be picked off.
First pitch, Warren Madrigal is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Warren tonight 0 for 2. He was one of the 9 Thompson strikeout victims back in the 3rd inning, and he was safe on an error by Siriaco back in the 5th. Kernels with a runner on at first, 1 out, trailing 3-1 as they bat here in the top of the 7th. Fastball in for strike. Carlin fake throwing the ball on first base, try to get the runner Wood back. Brandon dove back into the bag, but there was no throw. And the count to Madrigal is even at 1-1.
Hits are even now at 5 apiece, Mike.
Hits are even, the errors are even, but unfortunately for Kernels, they trail by 2, 3-1. Runner goes, pitch taken for a ball. Throw to second, not in time. And it's a stolen base for Wood. So Brandon is 1 for 2 tonight in stolen base attempts.
And that's his 20th of the season, 20 out of 24. Quite a milestone for Brandon Wood.
Great percentage. Let's see, 5 out of 6, if my memory is correct, 83 1/3% or something like that, if I think fast enough. In any event, Kernels now have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Wood has a nice lead off a second. Infield playing back. Next pitch outside, and Madrigal is ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. And now we'll see how patient Warren Madrigal is, because with the count in his favor, 3 balls and a strike, he can afford to be choosy about what pitch he wants to swing at. Varner looks in with a sign. He gets it. He sets. He looks back to second base and delivers a 3-1 pitch. Call strike 2. I think Madrigal was ready to throw the bat away and head down to first base, but home plate umpire Timothy Dobbs said not so fast. That pitch made it for a strike, and we're at the full count stage. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the infield back, outfield shaded slightly towards right. 1 out and a runner on at second. Here's the set. Look back to second and the full count pitch. Ball 4. Madrigal has a good eye and draws the 1-out walk.
And this is a good man to have at the plate for the struggling Kernels. Really struggled on this road trip to score runs. Quan Cosby, 2 home runs in the series in Clinton. He flew out to deep left to end the 3rd inning, then lined out a bullet to center fielder Drew Macias in the 5th inning. Quan has hit the ball hard twice tonight. Let's see, with the catcher, Luke Carlin, paying a visit to the hill. Nothing doing in the Fort Wayne bullpen. Let's see if Quan can continue to hit the ball hard. Maybe Justin Bachman, who will be taking signals from Bobby Magallanes. Bobby is managing tonight in the Kernels' third base dugout. Bachman coaching at third. Perhaps the Kernels will try a hit and run. We have to remember that even though we're playing poorly, we can do some things in the second half in the way of taking risks, because we've already qualified for the playoffs, and I'd love to see us try. If it backfires, it backfires, but let's try sending the runners with Quan at the plate.
Interesting observation, John. The key element, you qualified for the playoffs. The Wizards are trying to do that right now as they entered play tonight 1 game behind Battle Creek. First pitch, foul back, left side out of play.
Just below us into the aluminum back reserve seat.
Quan Cosby came in action tonight batting .248. He's 0-2. Slide out to left, slide out to center. Wants to get the base hit right now to get another run on the board for the Kernels if he can. Left-hand hitting, Quan Cosby. Facing the right-hand throwing Matt Varner. Here's the set in the 0-1 pitch. Misses low, and the count's even, that ball on a strike.
We'll have our Kernel wisdom for you when the Wizards bat in their half of the 7th inning. Matt Macias is bringing you the action here from Fort Wayne. Matt is a local media and radio personality.
Here's the set by Varner. Next pitch, fly ball to right. Walbrink right in the tracks, makes the catch, fires back to the infield.
Well, Quan hit it right on the button. You can't ask for anything more than that. Cosby hit a line shot right at Walbrink, as Mike Macias called it correctly. Quan has hit the ball hard 3 times tonight, but nothing to show for it as he's flown out to deep left, line to center, line to right.
2 outs, runners still on at first and second. In the top of the order, and Ryan Leahy comes to the plate. Ryan 1 for 2 officially, plus a walk. Popped out the second, doubled, and drew a base on balls. Right-hand hitting, designated hitter. Stand in. Varner set, looks to set and delivers a fastball in for a strike, 0-1.
I'll tell you, Mike, even though we're going through some trying times right now, our pitching's been terrific. We just haven't been able to get any runs during this tough spell in Clinton, now here in Fort Wayne, but I want you to share something with our listeners in a moment.
The set and the pitch, foul ball right side out of play, and now the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Leahy.
You talk about a resilient ball club. It hasn't been easy for the Wizards.
Well, the Wizards got out of the gate slow this year, John. We started off with a series in South Bend and Battle Creek, and we lost, I believe, 5 of our first 6, 8 of our first 10 games, had a 9-game losing streak in the first half, came back and finished 33 and 37, and I'll finish it in a moment. Next pitch, fly ball on the right side line, Walbrink on his horse, and it's foul, lands safely towards the Wizard dugout. So we'll do it all over again. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Leahy. To finish my point, John, Wizards had a 9-game losing streak in the first half. Started out great in the second half. We defeated Battle Creek 6 of our first 8 games. We had a 18-8 record and a 23-15 record. We're leading the division. And then all of a sudden we lost 8 in a row and 11 out of 12, and it's been a dogfight ever since. Here's the set, and again the 0-2 pitch and another foul right side out of play. And I was going to say a nice catch by a fan, but he dropped. We like to say in the press box, E-fan.
Speaking of fans, boy, your lower deck, your 10 rows of royal blue box seats are 85 to 90% full tonight. Your picnic deck, the Bank One picnic deck down the right field line, is full. What a great crowd for a Monday night in Fort Wayne.
We've got 4 home games left, John, and we're averaging just over 4,000 a game. Another foul ball. Leahy hanging tough. Remains 0-2.
Ryan's a very tough guy to strike out. He takes pride in that. He's one of the old-fashioned players, and there's not enough Ryan Leahy's in professional baseball, and that is he despises striking out. He looks at it as almost a badge of shame, and he loves keeping the ball in play. And he's the guy that, with runners at first and second and 2 out here in the 7th inning, you can almost count on him at least making the Wizards make a play in the field.
Counting his 2 official at bats tonight, he's only struck out 11 times in 72 at bats. Takes a pitch, it misses inside. The Fort Wayne fans didn't like the call, or the paying umpires, if you will, but the man in blue behind the plate, Timothy Duff, said no, it missed, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's just missed. The Wizards were taking a step in towards their first base dugout on that 0-2 count. Now time is called.
And with 2 outs, even though runners run at first and second, the infield is playing back. The outfield somewhat shallow and shaded slightly towards right. I know we both had a chance to talk with Wizards general manager Mike Knitter briefly before the game, and now time is called again as Valenzuela comes in to talk to Varner. With 4 home games left, and I know Thursday night, and it's going to be fan appreciation night. It's going to be fireworks after that game, and they're hoping for a big crowd. But I would love to see if enough fans come out tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. We lost 1 home date to West Michigan this year, but if we could finish averaging 4,000 fans a game, it'd be, I believe, the 2nd highest attendance total in the 12-year history of the franchise. Another foul ball, this time off the left side, just past the Kernel dugout. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Mike, let me say on behalf of the Kernels, congratulations to you and your organization. I talked to Brian Shackle, the assistant general manager, on the dugout interview, and for you and your Wizards to be up near the 280,000 mark, that's just terrific work by your entire front office, your entire organization needs to be commended.
It's a great bunch of people to work with, that's for sure. Once again, the 1-2 pitch, a little looper towards second, pulled down by Smyers to retire the side. Leahy gave Varner a battle, but he hits what I can call a little humpback liner to second for out number 3. For the Kernels in their half of the 7th, no runs, a hit, no errors. They strand 2. 7th inning stretch time here at Memorial Stadium, and our score remains Wizards 3, Kernels 1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Everyone knows the old saying, why buy new when used will do? Well, it certainly applies when buying a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Kiel Honda in Cedar Rapids. That's because a great selection of pre-owned Hondas from Randy Kiel Honda are certified and carry a 12-month bumper-to-bumper Honda warranty. Top that off with a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and you have a deal that's hard to beat. IntelliChoice ranked Honda's certification program #1 in the automobile industry for the last 5 years in a row. Randy Kiel has many vehicles priced on $5,000 and a large selection priced $5,000 to $10,000, plus a great selection of trucks and SUVs too. They invite you to come in and take a test drive. They're easy to find on Centerpoint Road Northeast, or take a visit to their website anytime, day or night, at randykiel.com. When used will do, make it a certified pre-owned Honda from Randy Kiel Honda in Cedar Rapids.
When it comes to fun in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, nothing compares to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub. As you bask in the soothing comfort of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub, you'll be taking in the action from a breathtaking perch just above the left field wall. Register for your chance to be drawn as the winner of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub by visiting Westdale Mall.
Wizards come to bat in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They'll be facing right-hander Alan Buckley. Alan out for his second inning of work. It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters, Brian Walbrink, George Kottaras, and Fernando Valenzuela Jr. to face right-hander Alan Buckley.
3-1 in favor of the Wizards. And, Mike, your Wizards have been very good at home in the second half. They're gunning for their 20th win in 31 home games.
Brian Walbrink takes a fastball inside, ball one. Brian tonight slide out to right in the first inning, grounded out to third in the third, but hit a 2-run home run to left field in the 5th inning, and right now that's the difference. 3-1 Wizards as they bat in the bottom of the 7th. Curveball misses outside, and the count now is 2 balls and no strikes. And Wizards have someone up in the pen, and that is Howie Pence, a right-hander, the main setup man in the second half of the Fort Wayne bullpen. Next pitch in for a strike. Walbrink taking all the way. 2 balls and a strike to right fielder Brian Walbrink.
Well, he's got the game-winning hit as it stands now.
And he's a very pleasant young man. I've gotten to know him a little bit as he's progressed. Swings and misses at a let-up pitch. And the count's even at 2-2. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Wizards. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for the Kernels. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning here at Memorial Stadium in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Call strike 3. Brian Walbrink knew it as he goes down on strikes for out number 1 here in the 7th.
Well, Mike, I just wanted to put in perspective how good the pitching's been on this road trip for the Kernels and how fewer runs we have scored. Here are our run totals as Bobby Magallanes will come out and make a pitching change. Alan Buckley, terrific, goes an inning and a third, and Alan Buckley has given up just 1 hit, no runs in an inning and a third. Buckley strikes out 1, the leadoff batter looking here in the 7th. Alan walked none. These are the Kernel run totals in on this road trip. I will read our run totals for the 8 games so far on this road trip. 1 run, 5 runs, 2 runs, 12 runs, 3 runs rather, 1 run, no runs, 2 runs, tonight 1 run. So I want to emphasize, and Mike, I think you can attest to this, you've seen our ball club the first time in this series. Our pitching has been outstanding, and it sounds trite to say this, but going into the playoffs, I'd rather have the offense sputtering just a little bit than having your starting pitching and bullpen not being able to get anybody out. Would you agree?
I would agree 100%, John. When you get into the playoffs in the Midwest League, as you know, it is best of 3, best of 3, best of 5 in 11 days. Pitching and defense are the premium. If you have a good pitching and a solid defense, you can win a 1-0 or 2-1 ball game, and you can, to some degree, afford to not be swinging the bat very well. But I would definitely, in playoff mode, rather have good pitching than good hitting any day of the week.
Well, and I think our pitching is going to serve us well in the playoffs. Speaking of the playoffs, September 9th, Game 2, our first game at home, we'll play either in Beloit, Clinton, Davenport, Iowa, or Peoria on on Wednesday the 8th, but Thursday the 9th is our first home playoff game. If Game 3 is necessary, Friday, September 10th, I haven't seen Jack Rader is fired up about any playoff game in recent memory, a noon start. If we play at home on Friday the 10th, the game will start at noon, a noon start, so that all you great Eastern Iowa sports fans can not only take in a deciding Game 3 of the first round of the Midwest League playoffs, but also enjoy football, Friday night football.
The new pitcher is right-hander David Austin. We'll give you his numbers in a moment, but he fires a first pitch strike to George Kottaras, 0-1. The right-hand throwing David Austin delivers a fastball outside, count even at a ball and a strike. For David, this is his 28th appearance. Has a record of 1-2 and an ERA of 3.57. Does have a save. He's pitched 53 innings. Winds pitches. Kottaras foul tips it into the glove of catcher Michael Collins, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
David Austin pitched on Friday, and that was a Colonel rain-shortened 2-1 loss in Clinton. He pitched a third of it, and no runs, 2 hits, no strikeouts, no walks. David Austin hurling for the third time on this road trip.
Here's a chopper backed in front of the mound. Austin picks it up, fires the first base in time to get Kottaras. So Kottaras is retired pitcher to first base for out number 2. Kottaras now tonight 0 for 2 with a pair of walks.
Mike, I just decided how fewer runs the Kernels have scored on the first 8 games or 9 games this road trip. Let me give our fans an idea of how good the pitching's been. I'll give you the number of runs in the first 9 games of this 12-game road trip that this ball club has given up after this first pitch from Austin to Valenzuela Jr.
Fastball misses, ball 1.
The Colonel pitching staff has given up in successive games 2 runs, no runs, 5 runs, 2 runs, 1 run, 2 runs, 6 runs, 3 runs, and 3 runs. That's pretty good pitching.
Next pitch fouled off, count even at a ball and a strike. And you're right, John. Listen to those numbers. Again, it's just one of those cases. Your Kernels have run into it now. The Wizards have had it happen twice this year where it just seems that they cannot get the key hit, or the other team gets the key hit or converts on mistake as the next pitch misses. 2-1 the count to Valenzuela. On deck, third baseman Brett Bonvecchio. Infield back, outfield pretty much straight up. Base is empty with 2 outs. Little looping liner into left field just past the outstretched glove of Matt Brown for a base hit. So Valenzuela now 2 for 3 on the night, plus a walk. He gets a 2-out single to left.
You know, it's hard to believe that some people in the Padre organization don't look at Fernando Valenzuela Jr. as a prospect. Any guy that can take a pitch the other way like that and smoke it past third, he's been your most productive offensive player all year. I wouldn't, if I was San Diego, just because Valenzuela Jr. isn't blessed with great speed, I wouldn't write him off as a prospect.
The 2 biggest knocks, to my knowledge, John, are A, the lack of speed, because I think a Turtle could beat Fernando in a race, and his arm strength isn't as strong as I think the Padres would like. First pitch to Bonvecchio inside for a ball 1. Brett tonight, 0 for 2. Slide out to left, slide out to right, and he was also hit by a pitch. Left-hand hitting third baseman who was acquired, a trade between the Padres and Boston Red Sox. And you haven't had a chance to see much of it yet, John, but I think before this series is over, you're going to see how fluid a third base Brett Bonvecchio plays. Next pitch misses low, and 2-0 now is the count on Bonvecchio.
The number to call for Colonel regular season or playoff tickets is 896-7560, 896-7560.
You're set by Austin. And the pitch down low. 3-0 now the count to Bonvecchio. On deck, center fielder Drew Macias. Wizards trying to create some 2-out magic here. Valenzuela on at first with the 2 outs. 3-0 pitch swung at. Line drive into left center. Drawing a beat on it is Blake Bauckham to retire Bonvecchio and the Wizards. Bonvecchio with the green light on 3-0 flies out to center to retire the side. Into Fort Wayne 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 runner left. We head the 8th inning here in Fort Wayne. Our score remains Wizards 3, Kernels 1. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Two-a-days with Mike and Mike in the morning.
Tony Dungy, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, they're going to really enforce the 5-yard chuck rule and just go ahead and put the defense behind the 8 ball a little more.
As a great defensive back, I want the rules to be enforced because I want to prove that I'm a little bit better than the average guy and I can get the job done. If you let it be called the way it was last year, then average guys can look pretty good. But now if it's called the way it's supposed to, you're going to know who the good defenders are and who isn't. I think guys are going to relish that.
That said, do you think it will help Marvin Harrison even more?
It's probably going to help a lot of the receivers because the average defensive backs and average linebackers that can't cover those guys that have been grabbing them and pulling them by the shirt and that kind of thing aren't going to be able to do that anymore. It's not going to help them against the real good players. Right. I mean, it's not going to help them against Champ Bailey, but it's going to help them against some guys who have, been given a lot of leeway in the last couple of years.
Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
Your local Coca-Cola bottling company is teaming up with The Zone and the Penny Saver to support high school football play-by-play. This fall, make sure to check the Wednesday edition of the Penny Saver for great deals on all Coca-Cola products. And on Fridays, join the Zone Dave Barry Real Estate Team High School Tailgate Tour, live from 3 to 4, where Coca-Cola will offer games, prizes, and product samples at the Tailgate Tour broadcast. High school football and Coca-Cola, a winning combination.
With Fort Wayne Wizard broadcaster Mike Maas, I'm John Rogers, and we go to the top of the 8th inning. Howie Kendrick is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt tonight, and he's facing a new hurler. Mike, tell us about this right-hander, Howie Pence, P-E-N-C-E.
Howie Pence is making his 40th appearance, all in relief. He has a record of 4-3, an ERA of 2.91.
A strike to Kendrick, now a pitch high, ball 1.
He has pitched 43 in the third innings, given up 23 runs, 14 earned on 41 hits. He's walked 21, struck out 43, thrown 5 wild pitches, and the opposition is batting .241 off of him.
He's working from the stretch. He's a tall right-hander, and he dips a fastball by Howie, strike 2. 3-1, Fort Wayne, top of the 8th inning. Glad to have you along on this Monday night, August 30th. The Kernels, 3-5 on the 12-game road trip, have had great pitching, but have, as we talked about earlier in the 7th, really struggled with the bat. Ball 2 outside to the Colonel number 2 hitter, Kendrick. Lopez Brown. We've been out hit 6-5, trail 3-1. A 2-run homer back in the 5th inning by Brian Walbrink, his 8th of the year. Off of starter Chris Hunter, the difference in tonight's game. Colonels have run the bases poorly and have not taken advantage of a couple of great scoring chances. A hot shot on the ground through the middle. Howie Kendrick has singled through the box. That's a good start here in the Colonel 8th inning. Bringing up the tying run, Baltazar Lopez, who singled hard into right his last time up. I mentioned earlier, how Mike, that your bullpen is bolstered by Rosales, who has converted 23 of 24 save opportunities. Leo Rosales. So Howie Pence is trying to set it up for Leo Rosales, who seems to be very tough in the late going. Ball 1 high. Howie Pence misses high to Lopez. Howie is 6'5", 210. He's 24 years old, and he's out of Sam Houston State in Texas, a non-drafted free agent signee last year by the Padres. Swing and a foul to the screen by Lopez. Baltazar even on the count now, 1-1, facing right-hander Howie Pence.
In a perfect Wizards world, John, Pence has been, second half of the year, the setup man for Leo Rosales. And if everything would fall right for the Wizards' point of view, Pence will pitch and get out of the inning here in the 8th, and if the Wizards still had the lead, we will see Leo Rosales tonight.
That's how you'd like to see it scripted if you're a Wizards fan. Big gap in right center for Lopez as the center fielder, Drew Macias, is playing Baltazar to hit into left center. And a lot of room down the line. Walbrink playing way off the line for Fort Wayne. Swing and a foul off the foot of Lopez. Baltazar's really hurt by that one, his right foot, and Lopez leaves the dirt batting circle. I'm surprised Ryan Renker, the Colonel trainer, has not appeared out of the Colonel third base dugout. Lopez is really hurting. That one smarted. Baltazar now walking a third of the way up the first baseline, still struggling to bear weight on that right foot. He's in the hole 1 and 2. Now does a deep end. Still no sign. The Colonel trainer, Brian Renker, he's just going to let Lopez deal with himself, and I guess time will heal it. There's nothing much you can do if you're a trainer, Mike, except express some sympathy.
I would assume that Lopez speaks Spanish, as a
Yes.
lot of the players. I'm not sure if your trainer speaks Spanish or not. Maybe a language problem there.
You bet. Crowd of over 3,500, maybe 4,000 here tonight. A chopper to second. Kendrick is thrown out at second. The throw to first in time. Double play. Lopez should have been taken. He should have taken himself out of the game, Mike, because he could not get down that first base line. It took him, well, at least 10 seconds because he can't bear weight. He should have taken himself out of the game because he cost the Kernels a double play. There's no way that Wizards should have turned a double play if Lopez is able to run normally.
That ball wasn't hit all that hard either, John.
No,
but,
it wasn't. You've got to take yourself out of the game. If you can't go 100% down the line, the double play goes 4-6-3. And I'll tell you what, as well as our ball club is pitching, we are really playing rotten baseball on the offensive end. I mean, this Kernel Ball Club is not doing a thing right on offense. You can't be in the game. If you can't hustle down line, don't take your at-bat. It's that simple. Lopez was thrown out on a 4-6-3 double play, and it was a tap to the second baseman. And the double play went 4-6-3. It wasn't even close at first.
No, not close at all. And
Poor Baltazar had to jog down to first because his foot hurt so badly. Well, if your foot hurts that badly, don't stay in there and bat. You're hurting the team. Strike two to Matt Brown. The 0-2. Pumps foul to the screen. I don't know when we'll turn our fortunes around offensively, but we're doing an awfully lot of things wrong right now offensively.
well, in all honesty, John, as someone from Fort Wayne, I hope you get going real well come Friday night when you're back home against the West Michigan Whitecaps.
Mike, I understand completely. You guys need some help, and we'll oblige. It looks like we're going to oblige tonight with our poor base running and lack of clutch hitting. You really feel for our pitching staff because, well, they've done everything to help us win ball games, but the offense has been absolutely terrible the last week or so. We just cannot execute on the base paths or at the plate. Ball one low to Matt Brown, and now a swing and a miss, strike three. Howie Kendrick started the eighth inning with a single. He was erased in a double play. Matt Brown fans for the third time tonight. Nothing doing in Fort Wayne in the series opener. The Kernels look once again absolutely out of sync offensively. No runs. The Kernels have had single hits in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, but with the single hits have produced a grand total of 1 run through 8 innings. No runs in the eighth, 1 hit, a double play, no Fort Wayne errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty and have left 6 aboard. All the credit goes to the Wizards, who come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading 3-1. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double doors. Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried Costco?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the works.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters.
Right now?
My roots. Thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters make things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you. Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids Marion Hy-Vees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Kernel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the many joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees, embracing Kernel baseball, a community treasure.
Cutting on the first pitch to open up the bottom of the eighth is Drew Macias, the number 6 hitter in the order for Fort Wayne. He shatters his bat as he fouls it into the Fort Wayne right field bullpen, where Rosales warms up. And Rosales Leo has 22 saves in 23 tries. He'll come on in the top of the 9th inning to try to preserve this, what is now a Wizard 3-1 lead. David Austin's fastball is in the dirt for ball 1. Drew Macias gave the Wizards a 1-0 lead in the fourth inning with a sacrifice fly to center. He's 0 for 2. Drew hitting .277, 8 homers, 51 RBIs. 3-1 Fort Wayne, bottom of the eighth inning, as the Kernels continue to spin their wheels offensively on this road trip. A nubber foul back to the screen, and it puts Austin ahead of the left-handed batter 1-2. Looking ahead to the Colonel ninth, the numbers 5, 6, and 7 men to face a very good relief pitcher, Leo Rosales. The Kernels have just lost that winning feel that we had most of the season, and as Mike Maws reminded us of, no team escapes the season without hitting a wall, a barrier, a tailspin. It just so happens we're in the middle of one right now, especially on offense. A tap to second on 2 hops. Howie Kendrick gloves and feed Lopez for the out. I'm surprised Baltazar Lopez is still in the game. He bounced a pitch off his foot and then couldn't run hard on a tap to second on a double play that turned around the Colonel top of this eighth inning. But there he is out at first base with a foot so sore he couldn't even run hard to first base to avoid double play. The batter is Justin Smyers, and he lost one to right. A can of corn for Warner Madrigal. Madrigal a few steps back near the line, takes it down, 2 away here in the top of the eighth inning. Let's keep dwelling on the positive. The Colonel pitching on this road trip has been fantastic. So just a matter of getting the offense back in sync and doing the little things right, like hitting behind runners and bunting and advancing runners and getting fly balls and cutting down on strikeouts, getting 2-out hits. If the Colonels can do those little things, I still very much think we'll have a great September in the playoffs. A change-up outside to switch-hitting catcher Luke Carlin. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Luke batting left-handed against David Austin. Ball 2 is upstairs. Is Rosales one of those relief pitchers? As I look down at him, Mike, in the right field corner, he only looks about 5'8", 5'9". Is he one of those guys that overpowers you, or does he just get ahead of you all the time?
He's got a fastball.
A high drive into deep center. Quan on the run. I doubt if he'll get it. Way back at the wall. It's off the center field wall. And rounding second, heading to third, is Luke Carlin. The switch-hitting catcher has a 2-out triple as he bashed it over the head of Quan Cosby in center field. How about Luke Carlin, a 178 hitter, teeing off on a David Austin pitch and bashing it over the head of Quan Cosby. Carlin, a 178 batter, has his first triple of the season. It comes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the eighth for Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I don't know about that, John. A triple for a catcher.
Yes.
Traditionally, catchers do not run very fast, but that ball, as you mentioned earlier, the dimensions here, 330 down each line, 375 in the alleys, and 400 feet to straightaway center field, and that ball almost hit the wall straightaway center field, so it was hit nearly 400 feet. Yes, it hit just to the right of the Army Green hitter's background, high off the 16-foot high wall, and then it went over the head of Quan Cosby. A breaking pitch is low to Juan Siriaco. The number 9 hitter is 2 for 3. He singled his last 2 times up. Siriaco, a 38 batter, could sew this one up for the Wizards. They lead it by 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Breaking pitch upstairs, and it's 2-0. David Austin trying to pitch around a 2-out booming triple by switch-hitting Luke Carlin over the head of Quan Cosby in right center. Leo Rosales warming up in the bullpen for the Wizards. A foul down the left field line into the aluminum bleachers. And it's strike 1 to Juan Siriaco. This Wizard ball club split 4 with us back in early June in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Split 4 games. Fort Wayne is 2 games over 500 in the second half. The Kernels are 4 games under 500 in the second half. If you'd have told me that this ball club would be 4 games under in the second half this late in the going, I would say, no way. Swing and a miss by Siriaco, and his swing carried him all the way across the dish, and it's deuces wild now. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-1 Fort Wayne. Runner at third, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. If there's a good scouting report, Siriaco was vulnerable to the low breaking ball, low and away.
Let's see if Austin brings him that. Yes, a slider low and away in the dirt for ball 3. Good block by Michael Collins to hold the runner at third. Don't write this game off yet. The Kernels have gotten a couple of premier closers this season, so it's not a done deal, but it would be great if we could keep it a 2-run game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss. David Austin does just that. He gets Siriaco on that very pitch that Mike Maws spotlighted, the slider low and outside. Terrific release from Alan Buckley and David Austin tonight. They combine to blank the Wizards over the final 3 innings so far, at least in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. No runs for Fort Wayne in the 8th inning. A 2-out triple, 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. The Wizards leave a runner. They've now left 9. We go to the top of the 9th inning, hoping to rally against one of the best relief pitchers in the league, right-hander Leo Rosales. After 8, the Colonels fail Fort Wayne 3-1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the 3rd generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman's.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, wouldn't you?
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
Dun, 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 dun,
Da 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 da! Hey, call the A-Team! Hey, Matt, thanks for having us over for the game, but we could have had it at my house. My TV is bigger, and my AC works.
I thought you were supposed to get that fixed while your wife was out of town this week.
Oh, man, I totally forgot, and she's coming home tomorrow.
She's gonna kill you.
What am I gonna do?
You need to call the A-Team.
The A-Team?
Yeah, Ahern Plumbing and Heating. They can get your service in 24 hours, guaranteed.
I better call Ahern Plumbing and Heating right away.
Your home is a powerful asset. Managed wisely, it can help you with home improvements, tuition, and other expenses. Wells Fargo Home Equity Financing is the key, with flexible terms, competitive rates, and affordable payments. Our bankers have the knowledge and resources to help you find the best financing for your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo banker today and see how home equity financing can help you reach your next stage. Wells Fargo, the next thing, equal housing lender.
Top of the 9th, and the Wizards lead it by a pair 3-1. They've gotten shutout relief innings from Matt Garner in the 7th, who gave up no runs on a hit, walked 1, struck out none. Howie Pence pitched around a leadoff single by Howie Kendrick in the 8th inning, getting a double play and then a strikeout. And now Leo Rosales will face Blake Balcom. Blake, a leadoff double in the 5th, has scored the only Colonel run of this game. Ball 1 high from Leo Rosales. They list him at 6'1", 185. He looks a little bit shorter than that, looks about 5'10". Very astute. And he's from Cal State Northridge. A high fly ball into shallow left center. In comes Chris Colhorst, the left fielder, and it's the shortstop, Juan Siriaco, who drifts out into left center, and the shortstop has it 1 away in the Colonel 9th inning. Mike, give us the impressive season line on Leo Rosales.
For Leo Rosales tonight, this is his 49th appearance. He's made 1 spot start. The rest are all in relief. Has a record of 5-1 in the area of 1.58. He's pitched 51 in the 3rd innings, given up 11 runs, 9 earned on 35 hits. He has walked 14, struck out 63, thrown 1 wild pitch. The opposition is batting 187 off of him. And again, he has converted 22 of 23 save opportunities. He basically just a 3-pitch pitcher, the main pitch, the fastball, a slider, and an occasional changeup.
A fastball is lifted foul by Michael Collins down the right field line. Rosales is trying to save it for lefty Sean Thompson, who struck out 9 Colonels in 6 innings. Thompson looking for his first win since July 19th. Michael Collins has an 0-for-2 night going with a sacrifice bunt back in the 5th inning. Right-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. A pitch corked 3rd on the ground, and Von Vecchio on to first, and the Colonels 1 out away from sinking to 3-6 on the road trip. Michael Collins grounds out to 3rd. I have to say bluntly, and I have tried to keep the praise on the Colonels all season long, that right now I'm very disappointed and rather perplexed at their state of mind. It looks like they're kind of going through the motions in an uncaring manner, but I don't say that to be cruel or harsh. It just looks as though we've hit a real rut, and it certainly that's understandable in a long season. So again, hopefully we can turn things around yet on this road trip. Ball 1 is low to Brandon Wood. You don't win many games when you don't score runs. It's that simple. The pitching has been good enough for the Colonels to have been 5-3 on this road trip instead of 3-5, headed towards 3-6. Ball or strike one on the outside corner to Brandon Wood. Woody is 2 for 3 tonight. A slider low and away. The Kernels need just one base runner to bring up the tying run. Matt Pauley is on deck. Believe it or not, the Kernels have not pinch hit all season long, but Pauley stands on deck, possibly pinch hitting for Warner Madrigal if Brandon Wood can reach. Wood swinging a tip foul into the mid of the catcher, strike 2. 3-1 Wizards, 2 out, nobody on, top of the ninth inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Wood. Leo Rosales trying for his 23rd save of the year. Listen to the crowd. Ball 3 is in the dirt. Again, the Kernels have not pinch hit all year long. The Angels did not believe in that practice. And Matt Pauley stands on deck, hoping to bat against Leo Rosales here in the top of the ninth inning. The payoff pitch to the Kernel shortstop. Here it is. A high pop fly down the right field line. Underneath it, Brian Walbrink, and the Kernels sink to 3-6 on the road trip. Brandon Wood is thrown out to right. The Fort Wayne Wizards capture game 1 of this series. 3-1. Down in order go the Kernels in the top of the ninth inning. 3-1 Wizards, and we'll wrap up this game in just a moment. Mike Macias and I will next on the Kernel Curtain Call. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Here's a deal that's hard to beat. Peck's Flower Shop is having a huge back-to-school houseplant sale through September 12th. Fill your dorm room, classroom, home, and office with healthy, lush houseplants. Peck's is offering all houseplants and hanging plants in 6-inch pots or larger at 50% off the regular price. Yes, all houseplants and hanging plants in 6-inch pots or larger are half off the regular price, cash and carry. Choose from all-time favorites, unique, new, and different varieties. Don't forget a new planter, potting soils, and free expert advice to help make your new houseplants grow their best. Check out Peck's Houseplant Sale right away for best selection. Peck's is open 7 days a week at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Roads Northeast. Peck's, growing with the Cedar Rapids area since 1956.
What is ESPN Radio? It's not that hard. You're a sports fan? This is the sports station. It's ESPN. That means sports. The games, the experts, the analysis, the scores, the highlights, the people who know their stuff. It's good conversation. It's ESPN. It's radio. You know, the box that all the sounds come out of. At your home, in your car, where you work, even in your computer. It's everywhere you go. It's radio. It's ESPN. It's ESPN Radio. That's all it is.
Saturday morning. It's over easy as Scott Unash dishes up the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner here on the Zone. It's a hearty helping of local sports coverage from the Metro and beyond. All the latest prep news, the way only Scott can serve it up, cooked up live from this week's featured Cedar Rapids Marion Hy-Vee Kitchen. Get your Saturday breakfast special by tuning in to the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner live from the Hy-Vee Kitchen at 279 Collins Road Northeast. Only here on The Zone.
Time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonel's game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Third and nobody out, gets picked off first base in a 1-0 game, but Sean Thompson did pick off Michael Carlin. The next batter, Brandon Wood, popped to second for the second out. Warner Madrigal then rolled a slow roller to short, and it was booted by Juan Siriaco. Balcom scored from third with 2 outs to tie the game. He tied the game at 1-1. And then the game was won by the Wizards in the 5th inning. After Juan Siriaco opened the inning with a single, he was picked off, or rather he was caught stealing by Michael Collins. The next batter, Colcourse, singled to left. Brian Walbrink, then the game-winning home run as he drove his 8th of the year into the potato sack, the net high above the left field wall to make it 3-1 Wizards. Fort Wayne then got scoreless relief innings from Matt Varner, Howie Pence, and Leo Rosales to secure the 3-1 victory. Great relief pitching from both Alan Buckley and David Austin, but it wasn't enough as the Kernels continued to struggle offensively, losing tonight 3-1. For Fort Wayne, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 9. The Kernels 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. We left 6. Sean Thompson, a lefty, 20 years old, wins his first game since July 19th. He's now 8-6. Colonel loser Chris Hunter, he's 9-7. A save to Leo Rosales, his 23rd of the season. The game only took 2 hours and 36 minutes, and we'll learn our attendance in just a little bit. 3-1 Fort Wayne. When we return, we'll enjoy our Liberty Bank Star Plays of the game, and during this break, we're going to check in with our in-studio engineer, Jake, to bring you up to speed on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Back with segment 2 of the Colonel Curtain Call in a minute. This is Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services 1,000-minute reader recognition day is Sunday, September 5th at 1 o'clock at Veterans Memorial Stadium. All you girls and boys who read 1,000 minutes this summer will be greeted on the field by the Kernels at 1 o'clock on September 5th to get autographs. You'll then be honored with a parade around the diamond. Order your tickets for Toyota Financial Services Reader Recognition Day by calling the Kernels at 896-7560. That's 896-7560.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's. Better call Papa.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Fort Wayne, where the Wizards triumph 3-1 and send the Kernels to their 4th straight loss on this road trip. Kernel pitching was outstanding, but the offense continued to flounder. Liberty Bank, Iowa's fastest growing bank, is now proud to present our Liberty Bank Star Plays of the game. We'll begin in the Kernel 4th inning. The game was scoreless. Leadoff batter Ryan Leahy facing starter Sean Thompson. Here is our first Liberty Bank Star Play of the game.
A deep drive to left, way back at the wall, and it is over the left fielder's head, off the base of the wall. Ryan Leahy is churning into second with a leadoff stand-up double. Ryan Leahy launched a 2-1 delivery on a line over the head of Chris Kottaras in left.
And that gave the Kernels a great chance to break out on top. Howie Kendrick bunted Leahy to third, but he was stranded as the next 2 Kernel hitters were unable to drive him in. Our second and final Liberty Bank Star Play of the game takes us to the Kernels' 7th inning. The Kernels trailing 3-1, got a hustling infield single by Brandon Wood. Wood was at first with 1 out, and here's our second Liberty Bank Star Play of the game.
Runner goes, pitch taken for a ball. Short second, not in time, and it's a stolen base for Wood. So Brandon is 1 for 2 tonight in stolen base attempts. And that's his 20th of the season.
Yes, Mike Maas with the call of the 20th stolen base of the season for Brandon Wood. It came in the 7th inning. The next man, Madrigal, would walk, but the next 2 Kernels, Cosby and Leahy, were retired. Those are our Liberty Bank Star Plays of the game, brought to you by Iowa's fastest-growing bank, Liberty Bank. 3-1 Wizards. They win it. We'll return with a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard next. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurant has something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco. Limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Hometown Restyling.
Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction is guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Come and visit one of our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the possibilities. Windows, siding, sunroofs. Please call 378-1221. There's no place like home.
Mike Macias, our final attendance count tonight was very, very impressive. Sorry, Mike.
There we go. 3,515 on a Monday night, dollar night here at Memorial Stadium. Dollar hot dogs, dollar pop, dollar beer. The majority of the 3,515 fans going home happy as the Fort Wayne Wizards defeat the Kernels 3-1 in Game 1 of this 4-game series.
Mike is going to give us a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard from this afternoon and tonight. It's brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, Lanny Peterson, and Al Shetler. And there were, Mike, to start off, 2 afternoon games.
One was a made-up interleague game at, I keep wanting to say Comiskey Park, U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago.
Just keep saying Comiskey.
And the Chicago White Sox defeated the Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 9-8. The other afternoon game was a National League affair. The Eastern Division leading Atlanta Braves, and who would have thought Atlanta being in first place after the first 2 months of the season? But Braves defeated the San Francisco Giants 7-6 to win the 4-game series, 3-1. Other National League action saw the Chicago Cubs defeat Montreal 5-2. In the 7th inning, the Florida Marlins are leading the New York Mets 6-4. Also on the 7th inning, the Cincinnati Reds are trailing the streaking Houston Astros 10-3. And in the 6th inning of play at Milwaukee, it is the Pittsburgh Pirates 2 and the Milwaukee Brewers 0. One American League score, and John, I can say this because I'm a native of Detroit. My Detroit Tigers are leading the Kansas City Royals 7-1 in the 6th inning as the Tigers go for win number 61 as compared to 42 in all of 2003.
Well, that should tell you that not only is Ivan Rodriguez an MVP candidate, but Alan Trammell does warrant serious consideration for Manager of the Year.
They're 60-70 coming to action tonight, and if they could even get 75 wins compared to the 42 a year ago, it'd be a tremendous accomplishment.
It sure would, Mike. Well, thanks so much for getting this series off to such a wonderful start in terms of all the fun we had bringing it to our listeners back in Eastern Iowa. Mike Macias will be with us again through tomorrow and throughout the series. The Kernels struggling with the bats, but hang in there. All is not lost. All we have to do is keep getting the great pitching we've been getting and get the bats going a little bit, and I think we're going to be just fine come next week. And the playoffs. 3-1 Wizards tonight. For Fort Wayne broadcaster Mike Macias, I'm John Rogers. Mike, thank you ever so much, and we'll look forward to having you help us out so well again tomorrow.
Thank you, John. Maybe I can get lucky for you and get a Kernels victory.
Oh, well, we won't ask. We know the predicament you're in. We'll just try to keep playing well and hang our hat on that. But, yeah, it'd be nice if the Kernels could spring loose with some offense and help that pitching staff that has been so good on this road trip. 3-1 Wizards, thanks to Jake, our in-studio engineer. I'm John Rogers. We'll greet you tomorrow at 5:40 tomorrow for a 6 o'clock first pitch, 5:40 dugout interview time. So long from northeastern Indiana. You've been listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
You can feel it. It's all you think about. It's your blood. It's your mantra. Your reason for being. It's in our blood, too. That's why nobody has more football than the Zone. ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. The NFL. All season long, catch every play of every Sunday and Monday night game here in the Zone. The BCS. How about Sugar, Rose, Fiesta, and the National Championship Orange Bowl, all live, all on the Zone. How about the AFC and NFC playoffs and championship games? The Zone. Super Bowl, the high holy day for football fans? 4 simple letters. Z-O-N-E. Getting the pattern here?
Can you stand anymore?
It's Big 12 Iowa State Cyclone football on Saturday and ESPN NFL Game Day all day Sunday. The Zone. Plus select Metro High School football with Scott Unash, the Pat McGrath football Friday night scoreboard, and the Dayberry Caldwell Banker High School tailgate tour. If you love football as much as we do, look it on the Zone. ESPN Radio.
Are you ready for some football?
Guess what that sound is? Let me help you out. It's a jail cell door getting slammed shut after you've been booked for DUI. Don't think you'll get caught? Think again. Officers are cracking down from coast to coast this month. So listen up. If you drive impaired, you will pay. The choice is yours. Designate a sober driver or you drink and drive, you lose. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
It's an information jungle out there. Predators are after your money, looking for that credit card receipt left behind, that blank check you lost. Any information to help you claim another victim of America's growing crime, identity theft. Don't give information to people you don't know, and report suspected fraud to your bank. Learn more at www.aba.com. And stay out of the jungle. This safety message is brought to you by Bank Iowa, Iowa's hometown bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to regularly scheduled ESPN programming, already in progress.